What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing tonight? Are you ready for the AMA? Can anybody hear me? Let me go ahead and turn this on, make sure I ain't got no more technical problems going on with my mics and everything else. I don't see nobody saying nothing right now. Let's turn that down. There we go. So before we do anything, I want to check and make sure that my audio is freaking straight. You know what I mean? Before we do anything, just go to, I don't know, any video. How about this? Johnny Dunn. Now, can everybody hear that? I like that video. So we good. Oh, there we go. I got chats now. I don't know why it was delaying. Guys, so everything's good there, right? Okay, I just want to make sure. Whoa, what you doing, Johnny? Don't be playing on my stream. What's wrong with you? Oh, shoot. Okay, guys. So I want to go over something. That's why I come on 20 minutes early. Because, man, I'm going to tell you. I'm releasing a video tonight. How about the Upshot, or however you pronounce his name? How about that rug pull, guys? This is my own opinion, okay? So I have seen a lot of stuff already, and it looks like, yeah, he pulled the rug on that up coin and went silent. His you know what, we got time. Let's just go to the channel right now. How about that, guys? How about that? Because, you know, I hate that shit, man. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I hope none of y'all actually invested any money in that, man. Yeah, Jill. Yeah, I think I was talking to you today on Twitter. So let's find this channel. Now look at this, guys. I want to show you this. You ready? You ready to see this shit? Let me make it big. There it is. Let me move my banner out the way so everybody can see it. Look at that, guys. That's 71,000 subscribers. Okay, 71,000 subscribers, and he pulled the rug. Like I said, it's my own opinion. I've seen a lot more stuff, pretty much pointing directly to him pulling the rug on the up coin. Okay. This don't make no sense, guys. Listen, hear me out. I'm making a video about it too, though. Oh shit! Hey man, don't be throwing all that money at me like that, big dog. Look at that. What? That's the most I ever got paid. Hell, that's more than I make an hour. What you talking about? Hey, I appreciate it. You know what? And I'm ready. I got a little something to play with. Let's go. How you do it? How's Staying Alpha do it? Yeah. Oh. All right, so let's get into this. So it's really hard to talk about. It really is. Oh, I'm drinking Dos Equis tonight. So today, I just found out about this today, guys. I really did. Upshot had, I guess created a coin with some other people. I don't know too much about it. And last night or night before last, let's see if I can find it again. It tanked. It tanked hard. Let me find it real quick, guys. I'm not prepared. I wasn't even gonna talk about this, not that much, but man, you know, I got to show it to you, and I appreciate that super chat, dude. Like that's badass. Let's find it. Upcoin. Right here. Look at this shit. 98.3% down. Look at this right here, guys. Let's look at the 30-day. It's riding around what? I don't know, quadruple zeros and stuff, whatever. And then a peak of what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 502209. And then there was a drop off right here. Like, oh shit. Now, from what I've read, to my knowledge, this was a whale selling 40 billion worth of upcoin, and then well, bam, straight down. So Upshot sold his shares, and what's kind of funny is, okay, so he sold it, and then he turned off, or he give control to his Twitter to let's go to it right here, to Upcoin. Right here it says this account is controlled by Upcoin development team and not Upshot for the time being. What kind of shit is that? Like, okay, if you got hacked, why would they go after your YouTube, your Twitter and everything else, right? Because everybody thought either something happened to him or he got hacked, right? And nothing happened to him. No, this is just a straight rug pull. And this is him doing that. I'm sorry, if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, I'll go on YouTube and I'll tell everybody I'm wrong. I'll apologize, but this is a straight rug pull, especially this right here. All his videos have been deleted, all of them. Like, dang, dude, like that's crazy, man. And then you got the coin which took a straight up shit. This is why I invest in Omi, guys. It really is. This is why I invest in Omi, because I know there's not going to be a rug pull with Omi, even though it's a little bit of FUD going around right now about, oh, the tokens are being unlocked. I'm getting scared. They're moving so many tokens to this wallet and that wallet. Look, if anybody learned anything last time from the FUD about the tokens being unlocked, what happened? Nothing. Now you got some bad apples in there. Don't get me wrong. You got some whales in there. We won't say no names. Y'all know who it is. But yeah, like there's not gonna be a rug pull, Holy crap, dude. When Condor Man. How you know about Condor Man? You been looking at my chats. Yeah, dude. Like, hey, if they get Condor Man on VV, that'd be badass. Hey, here we go. I'm just gonna show it again. Let's go, baby. Dude, stop spending your money on me for real. Like, I don't want you to do that. Like, I really appreciate it. I really do. But put your money in Omi, man. Make you some money. Make you some money in the long run. Let me go through these comments real quick. What we got? About 11, 12 more minutes before we start. Let's see here. Okay. So, hey, poor man. If you happen to speak, is it possible to ask why Labbits are FA? You know what? I believe Kay's going to ask that. Kay takes down a lot of questions. He's pretty good at asking questions too, because I'll be about half drunk anyway. And last time I asked a question, I didn't know that guy was like a pastor, and I'm talking about your girlfriend and your wife at the beach looking up at Reese flying the plane. Yeah, I felt kind of bad about that. I didn't know he was a pastor, so I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, but if they don't ask, I'll ask that. I'll definitely ask that. Let's see here. Oh yeah, dude. Right here. Jill, the best con artist is the one you trust, and we trust him. It's crazy. And that's for real. I'm gonna tell you, man, you can't trust people. Don't even trust me. You know, do your own due diligence. Anything I say, I could be wrong on a lot of crap. I could be out to get y'all's money or something. You know what I mean? Don't trust nobody on YouTube. If somebody on YouTube says, "Hey, you can trust me. I'm making a coin," nah, do not trust that shit at all. I hope I ain't cursing too much. YouTube would shut me down or something. I don't know. But this is how I talk regular, so it is what it is. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah. Hey, did y'all when motorsports NFTs? So did y'all see uh, West Coast Customs tweet back? Yeah, buddy. I bet you're gonna see West Coast Customs on VV. I'm telling you, everybody's going to VV, man. They're so big right now. It's unreal. Like everybody's going to VV. Yeah, I don't know about trusting me. Yeah. Oh, right here. Sorry, I had the wrong one up. We got 9 minutes. I trust you, poor man. Yeah. Like I could tell you all day long, trust me, you know. And I see myself as a good guy. I would never shit nobody like that. I don't care if I was a freaking millionaire and I made a coin, I would never rug pull like that. That's like beyond low, dude. Like you don't do that to people, man. All their hard-earned money they put in that token. Some people don't have a whole lot of money, you know. Maybe they had X amount of money in it, hoping it would make them, I don't know, 100, $200 down the road or something or whatever. And then rug pull straight bombed out. That's fucked up. I hope my mama don't see this, but that's fucked up. Oh, let's see here. I wish I could talk like Randy. Randy can sit there and read the comments and like have everything so perfect. Me, I'm like all over the damn place. ADD, dyslexia kicking in. Let's see. Right here. Does the amount of token founders have scare you? No, they don't. For example, if Omi hits $1, they will be billionaires, and I can't blame them for dumping at that point. Right. Listen, the founders are planning on VV to go 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Like if you damn, he done give me another. Look at that. Look there. You got to stop, man. But I'm gonna read it. Give me 1 second. So the founders is they're not gonna dump on you because if you pay attention to AlphaCon, he's talking about, you know, like VV's gonna be the Walmart of NFTs, which I think is more or less like the Amazon. They plan on VV being so big, like it's unreal. They want VV to be Ready Player One, where you can go in the game, order pizzas, have your collectibles to one side, watch a movie in there, sit down with your girlfriend digitally or however you do it, you know, and for a whole new experience. They don't plan on dumping. Will they take profits? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of profits taken. I see profits being taken around 3 cents. I see profits being taken around 5 cents, but not just VV. Or they probably won't even take profits then. I don't blame them if they did, but 3 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, you know, 20 cent, big time, 20 cent, 30 cent, big time, 40 cent, big time. All the even numbers, man, everybody takes profit. You know, I might even take some profit to cover my initial buy-in, which is around, I don't know, 30 grand or so. But yeah, so I don't think they'll do that, man. I really don't think they'll take their profits like everybody's thinking. No. All right, let's see. Oh. Oh yeah, touching base on Upshot. Yeah, it wasn't even a whole lot of profit he got out of that. Right here. Adam, I heard the Labbits number 265 is worth a lot of money. Do you know that? Now, I do not, because I don't really cover that much about NFTs. I'm not a Comic Con type kind of guy. You know, I'm more or less, you know, let's go dove hunting, let's go fishing or something like that. But I can tell you this, there was a big buy-in for 150 and down. Like everybody was trying to get the 150s. The FA 150s, FE 150s, whatever you call them. the whales are trying to buy them up. And if you got any low mints, I'm gonna tell you right now, unless you need money, sell it. But the longer you hold it, the more money you're gonna make. Plain and simple. Let's see here. Yeah, you're right. He didn't look like a threat, but he is. Evil has no face. What's up, big dog? Hey, I done told you save your dang money now. That's $5 in Omi right there. That's $5 in Omi. Hell, I ain't even got paid from YouTube yet. I don't know what y'all talking about. I appreciate it though, man. Yeah, I could probably ask that. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Right here. Can you ask if they are going to have a human overlay feature? I don't know. I guess I don't know. That's all technical stuff, man. In the future, so that way you can actually be favorable superhero. Yeah, I can ask them. Right now I know there's the captcha. There's 2 parts to it. I did it one time today, and once you get the first one right, you got to do the second one, and then you automatically buy. It's gonna be something new. Like it really is. I can't wait for Saturday. I'm off. I'll be hooked up to Wi-Fi. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Let's see. So yeah, let's check in. Let's just close this stuff up because it's getting really close to the Discord chat. Oh, here we go.
Hopefully,
what the hell are they talking already?
Oh, is that what this is going to become from now on? Is it just everybody find the mint?
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go salad.
Yeah, I'm having a bit of a struggle at the moment, but hopefully with all the people.
What just happened? That ain't me, is it?
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh,
we can
I got scared.
We can throw that out there. Maybe people watching it back later as well will be able to contact you if they've got what you're after.
Yeah, man, I was getting pretty desperate. I was like, fire out. Maybe I should start a YouTube channel so that way I can get more followers and stuff. And then that way I can reach more of the community and then get those mint numbers and then I'll be sweet.
Just so we're clear, I do take bribes to locate mint numbers.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, let me know what you want.
Hey, everything's good with the sound, right, guys?
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk off camera, man. It's fun.
Sweet, bro. Sounds good.
777. Mod man. I'm looking for that.
I heard Reese takes bribes in Stella.
Stella, please.
What was it? The Green Demons, Victoria and Bitter.
VB, mate, all day long.
I don't think they're talking, Artie. Yeah,
all right,
we're
fam.
good. We're good.
I think we'll get started on this week. First of all, big welcome to everybody. If anyone missed it a few minutes ago, we do have a voice chat discussion channel. So if you can't come up to the stage or ask a question, you can always drop it in there, and we'll try to get to them as well. If anyone is new to this, you just need to put your hand up to be invited to the stage. So if you haven't asked a question before or aren't sure how that works, there should be a little option that you can just access somewhere on your screen. Welcome Alex as well. I've seen him just appear. So if anyone has any sort of marketing related questions, we can definitely have a chat with him too. I think Noah may pop in later if he's around as well. Now, just before I do forget, someone just asked a question in that voice chat channel saying they're having trouble adjusting their collectibles in AR or in their showroom. Now, if it's in AR, just make sure you're using the right gestures. It doesn't work quite the same way. You pinch the screen or expand your fingers, that kind of thing, to move them around in AR. But if that is still not working, shoot me a message. I know there was an intermittent bug affecting iPhone SE's phones, so it may still be present. But shoot me a message, and we can always send that to support and see if we can figure it out. Other than that, guys, maybe we'll get started with the top of the week. So obviously, Ecto 1 dropping on Saturday, 8 a.m. I'm sure you guys have taken the time to have a look at that, but it is a truly incredible looking model. I think the VV Twitter just put out a few different angled photos too. So if you haven't seen that, go and check those out. And obviously we have some new updates to the drop system this week. So randomized edition numbers, I think that one's going to be huge. Obviously levels the playing field for everybody instead of being first come, first serve. The capture, and on that note, if you guys haven't updated your VV app yet, head to your app stores and update it, or open the app. It should prompt you to update it anyway, but that will give you the latest version, which is live. I got it this morning on iOS, so it should be live on both platforms now. What else? There was a third one there, wasn't there? I'll have to look at the article, but I'm sure someone can remind me.
The buy button.
Yep. So, last week we obviously added the countdown timer. This week we've moved the timer across, and the buy button is always visible. And that timer on the that you see is pegged to our servers, and so that should be the most accurate time for you to be able to enable that button. Now, as we put in that article, and this has always been the case, but if you hit that buy button too early, you'll get an error message that will just say, unable to reserve or whatever. So obviously you don't want to be hitting that button too early or mashing it. And I know a couple of people last week, I guess, got a bit too excited, hit the buy button, and then it must pop up, whatever the next modal is, the cancel button must be somewhere in the same region as the buy button. I don't know if that has been moved this week, so just be careful if you're mashing that buy button in case you accidentally cancel it before it goes to the capture. But I don't think
I saw Dan actually say that the cancel button's gone on Twitter. So
amazing. Oh, there you go. See, no, welcome, Noah. Perfect. All right, that's good. So I'll just invite some people to the stage, guys, and we'll get started.
Hello.
Yeah, have at it if you've got a question while you're here.
Yeah, I've got a question. So this is kind of the conspiracy theory of the week. So basically, quite a lot of people have been asking this, and it's related to Comic-Con. So there have been people who have been kind of searching through the Comic-Con schedules, trying to find any kind of relation to VV Comey. There have been people who have literally emailed the Comic-Con customer support asking about this, and someone forwarded me an email saying, hey, the Comic-Con customer support say they have no recollection of VV or Comey being signed up. So they started freaking out. Obviously, I assume there's some logical reasoning, some kind of surprise, something that, we can expect to see later on since Comic-Con's next week. So question is, do you maybe clarify on, I guess, what's the situation with Comic-Con, just for these people who are kind of freaking out?
We do love a good conspiracy theory. I will throw that out there. There's definitely some information coming. I don't know if I can share that or not. I don't think so at this point. maybe Alex, if you're listening, maybe you just have an update as to when people are expecting to hear something about Comic-Con.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely part of it. We are not an exhibitor, so that's why you're not seeing our name on, the lineup, or that's why, apparently Comic-Con doesn't know that they're probably looking at the exhibitor list. But yes, we're definitely part of it. We will definitely have our exclusives, where there are definitely some cool things coming. So yeah, please don't freak out and worry your pretty little heads too much about it. I think there is, we were just trying to get some ducks in a row, if you will, with some announcements. And with licensors, you always kind of have the back and forth of when we're ready to announce certain things. And this one, unfortunately, is coming down a little bit to the wire. But I would expect some news on our involvement in the next couple of days.
Do you think that'll quell the storm, Kay?
Well, I hope so. They'll probably come up with a new conspiracy theory tomorrow. I think this will be enough.
Yeah. It's I think what we're doing is way better than being an exhibitor, to be honest, especially for a virtual event. I guess that's. I think Comic-Con at home happened last year too. I don't think it was, obviously we're in the middle of the pandemic and all of that. I don't know if anyone here went to it or checked it out. But we've definitely made our choices based more around the fact that it is a virtual event and what we think will have the biggest impact in that kind of environment. So. Yeah,
I did have a look at some of the exhibitors, and I noticed on DC panel quite a lot of the artists that are already on VV are there. Becky Cloonan, what's his name? The guy who did the Greg Capullo, the Batman Who Laughs one, Todd McFarlane. I don't know if you guys can say or not, but could there be something related to them that we could expect?
No, I think those panels are designed to be more around the brand itself. If it's a DC panel, then it will be them talking DC, I would imagine. Whether our name comes up or not, we will remain to be seen. But no, I think that whatever you're seeing for the exhibitors or the panelists, it will be in relation to what that panel is supposed to be, as opposed to us doing a surprise entrance or anything on that.
Cool. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
No worries. All right, I'm going to invite a few people up. Dizzy, if you're up here with a question, feel free, mate. Otherwise, I'll assume you're just helping us with some mod stuff. Perfect. Tasmanian, welcome to the stage.
Hey guys, I just had a question about Comic-Con. It's probably still a TBD, but is there anything the community needs to do as far as signing up to watch the stream, or is it just simple as going to the website and clicking a link?
I've been. Oh yeah, go Alex. You might have more info on this.
No, I was going to say again, that info is coming in the coming days. Well, I don't know if it'll be a stream per se, but there will be some instruction on how to see our involvement.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you.
No worries. And outside of that, you can register for Comic-Con at home through their website. Register. I guess you're getting a virtual badge of some sort. Sign up to their mailing list, that kind of thing. So, if you want to be part of the whole event and just be alerted to all those kind of things, I'd say just sign up anyway. There is a special event Comic-Con happening in a couple of months that I think will be the physical event, the in-person one, in lieu of the current Comic-Con being virtual. So if you're interested in attending future events, already having your name down for those kind of things, it's worth signing up for sure.
Awesome. Cheers.
No worries. Toasty NFTs, welcome.
Hello. So I got a question about the new buy now button, and I kind of bring it up Clockgate a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
Can we expect this button with the timer countdown? Should we match that up to time.gov clock to make sure it's actually right before we do this drop tomorrow, Saturday? Do you think there'll be a couple millisecond delay?
Nope. That's like I just mentioned before, that the clock in the app is going to be the most accurate one.
Okay, so the clock in the app. So say if my phone's just a little bit slower than someone else's, or someone else's phone's a little bit slower, their app might say that it's 11 o'clock when it's actually 11, about 1 second past 11.
It doesn't. The app timer will count down to 0, and then the buy button will be enabled. So it doesn't really matter what your clock timer says.
Okay, cool, awesome, thanks.
No worries. And guys, just for anyone who maybe hasn't come up before, once I invite you to speak, I think you have to accept that invitation too. So you may just see some little notifications popping up on your end there. So yeah, there we go. A couple more just joined. Scorpion, I believe you're searching for a couple of mint numbers, mate. I'll let you throw out what you're looking for in case people want to contact you.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Yeah, just if anyone has the Joe Madureira, or however you say it, and the Becky Cloonan Batman, I'm looking for number 1693. So if you have that, could you get in touch with me, and then I'll make you a pretty decent offer, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I also have a question. Just with the move to Immutable X, as soon as that happens, does that mean from that point on we can take the digital collectibles and put them in our digital wallets and that?
No, not straight away. No, the move enables it, and but there's obviously like once we actually migrate the whole platform, get everybody to move their tokens across, all that kind of stuff, and then the devs can start to bring the walls down, for lack of a better term. But it will still be up to the licensors themselves as to whether they let you or let us send their IP out of the app. Now we know that there's quite a number of licensors that are keen to do it as early as possible. So once it's enabled, I think some of them will let it happen, but it won't be like, we migrate on Monday and by Tuesday you can send your stuff out. It will still come down to that kind of thing. There's also a lot of contract work that has to be done, and really contracts to be established with the companies as to how that all kind of works, where it can be used, all of that kind of thing. So it will still be a work in progress, but we'll be one big step closer to it happening.
Okay, cool. So with that, do you have obviously I don't want to hold you to any timelines because we know how out of proportion that can be blown up to, but is there any sort of rough figure as to how long that'll take? And also with that, if the licensors don't allow it, will that mean they can't go to OpenSea and stuff like that, eh?
Correct. Yeah, if the licensors don't allow it, then it stays within the app. The beauty of that being that, we already have probably one of the biggest user bases in the space. You have a marketplace. Soon you'll be able to sell your, cash your gems back out into fiat anyway. And obviously you don't get the full experience of those collectibles unless it's within the VV app. So even though, obviously part of the value proposition of NFTs is that you can control your own keys, put them in your own wallets, that kind of thing. I'm personally of the belief that, I think people will send them out and then just end up sending them back in again. You don't have to worry about the security at that point. If you can cash in and out of gems and fiat or transact in OMI, we kind of have that encompassing ecosystem anyway. So there's going to be a lot of options there, even if you can't send specific collectibles out. So yeah, that's what that'll mean basically. Now, in terms of timeline, I know that it's in development. As far as I know, it's actually going quite well. The original mapping Michael gave us was around 6 to 8 weeks, and it's been, I think, 4 weeks now. So yeah, I think we're going to see it. We should start to see that migration take place in the next 4 weeks or something like that. And I guess it will be a progressive thing for most of the ecosystem. The token swap will need to be open for 12 months or more, just so people have plenty of time to move their tokens across, that kind of thing. But it's, that's number one priority. That has to happen before we can really do anything else. So it's definitely in the works.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, man. And I completely agree. I think at the end of the day, the app is where you're going to get the most use out of the collectibles. So No, that's all good. And yeah, so thanks for your time. And if anyone has those numbers, please get in contact.
Perfect. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, look, I just think even when you can send things out, I think all that's going to do is bring more people back to VV. So really that's beneficial for everybody. But it's more beneficial for you as an individual and the ecosystem to be using the app. So we definitely want to try and continue to build in value propositions and value drivers there, so people come back to the app rather than trying to leverage OpenSea or whatever it is.
Sure, man. Awesome. Thank you.
No worries. Channy Ice, and then maybe myself, if you're up here, Michael.
Hey, yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, mate, got you there.
Great. So a quick question on the mint randomization. So I was kind of wondering if it was maybe possible to make a tier system where maybe like the first 1,000 buyers, get a random mint between like 1 and 1,000 and then like so on. Because I kind of think this new mint randomization is great for things that sell out instantly, like the ultra rares and rares. But for the things that don't sell out instantly, like those uncommons and commons, it can really hurt those collectors who maybe can only afford those commons because the price difference this week is like $80 between the ultra rare and common. So it can hurt those collectors who can maybe only afford those, commons because that person who can get the ultra rare also has the ability usually to get the commons as well. So I was just wondering if maybe that's been brought up at all or anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we can discuss. I don't know what it takes from a technical standpoint to be able to kind of, alter what happens on half the drop and not on the other half. But I think it's also important to remember that one, there's so much content coming that we're really trying to get this to a point where you as a collector, or more so as a fan, go after the things that you're actually interested in, rather than just trying to get the ultra rare to flip it or whatever. Now if you're a big enough fan of something, you don't really care what the mint number is because you just want that collectible, and that's kind of the system that we're really trying to aim for. So yeah, I think that's where a lot of the logic for the randomized mint numbers comes from. Obviously, it cuts out that incentive to try and be the first in as well. So look, I'll bring it up with the team, see what they think, or see what the real reasoning behind just that sort of one size fits all solution is too.
Awesome, thanks, Rhys. Appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Michael, while you're up here.
Hi, Rhys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, mate, got you there.
Yeah. Hey there. So yeah, I have one question. We have, by the way, I'm from the Philippines, so we have this one NFT here who also have the gamification. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Axie Infinity. So I just wanted to ask, I know in VVverse we're planning to have our own gamification as well. I just wanted to ask if it's if the concept is almost the same. I'm not sure how the Axie Infinity work, but what they usually do is that they play, and then after they win the game, they also win tokens, SLP tokens. So I'm not sure if this is the concept is the same for VVverse gamification.
Yeah, I've definitely been following the Axie Infinity story, and just to see their revenues lately from play to earn is pretty incredible. At the moment, no, I don't think our gamification is designed to reward you with tokens. We tread a very fine line with our token. Right now it's a utility token, and that's always been the intention and the design of it. But as soon as you start to give out that token as a reward or as a payment, then you fall into securities law. So we tread a very fine line there in differentiating ourselves purely from a legal standpoint. So I think for now, I'll pretty confidently say that our gamification is more to enhance the user experience than it is to pay you out for that kind of thing.
Oh, just to add to that on the rewarding token aspect, I just literally found this out today. On Ascendex, there's something called BitTrust, and on there, when Ascendex had first, apparently when they had listed OMI, you could actually stake OMI, and you could get something like 26% like interest back. So I think this goes back to the conversation we had back in the AMA we did, where kind of staking OMI for OMI would be something facilitated by exchanges, just to kind of like avoid, having issues with securities compliance. So it's just something interesting that I discovered today.
Yeah, I do remember that actually. I think it was part of their listing promotion that the first they had a capped amount, but whoever got in there first would earn X amount, for the next 3 months or something like that. And yeah, just from our AMAK, I think you made the distinction that if you're being given tokens for some sort of work, then it's okay. But if it's just like as a reward or playing to earn, then it changes the legal definition of the token. So I think I'll leave it at that for now. Our gamification will be more as a usability and user experience thing as opposed to a play to earn type system.
Awesome. Thank you, Riz. Can't wait for VVverse.
No worries, man. And just on that, I think Axie get around it because they're more decentralized than us. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of how their network works. There's not really any, it's governed however it's governed. So it has that capability. Whereas because we operate, with licensors and everything else in the real world, we really have to be careful on that front. So yeah, but let's continue. Geomite, if you're up here, or Silicon Secure, if you got one. Yeah, Silicon, go for it, mate.
Yeah. Hey, Reese, how's it going? Thanks for inviting me on stage. It's always a pleasure.
No worries. Welcome.
Yeah, so as I'm having fun with Vive and buying NFTs, I'm sharing that with my friends, and obviously they're on OpenSea and having lots of fun. But the one argument I always get from everyone is like, it's not a real NFT because you can't just trade it off, and we all know the story there, right? So I guess my question is, at one point I remember the team saying that some of the NFTs may be exportable, right? Outside of the platform, if people want to do that, that's their choice, but it depends on the licensor. Do you have any more color around that? And then I do have one more question after that.
Not really. We covered that just a few minutes ago, but it's more of a, the first move is to get to immutable, and then it comes down to the licensors as to, which ones we can send out, which ones we can't. Now, I guess to add a bit more color, like these licensors, this is what they do, right? They lend out their IP to companies. For the first time ever, NFTs create a way for them to gain a perpetual royalty on these products, right? Like if they sold you a Superman figure in a store and then you sold it to someone else, the licensor doesn't get any cut of that. Whereas obviously you can now work that into the smart contracts and create that kind of availability. So they're not silly, these companies. They're definitely not going to avoid making more money as time goes on. So I think that's where this whole industry goes, but it will definitely take some of them more time to be comfortable with it. We've really learned, well, I'm sure Dan and Dave already knew this, but you plan things out months in advance and it can take that long or longer before they actually sign off on everything for you to be able to release it. So they definitely move slowly and meticulously. We need to establish a lot more legalese for these kind of contracts before anything can happen on that front. So it's not going to be like a flick a switch and we're ready to go, but I think we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, no doubt. And we all know where the best NFTs are. So that's why we're all here. I think that, yeah, it's just a matter of time before everyone else figures it out, or there's, marketplaces that will, reward or pay back the royalties that are needed to get paid back.
Exactly.
Yep. And then my follow-up question is, there seems to be a lot of debate on the internet right now with, Batman versus Superman. I'm wondering if you have any comment there, and then when will we see Batman versus Superman in the multiverse to be able to really fight it out and find out who's number one?
Yeah, when you say debate, you mean like who's better as a superhero or something, or?
Yeah, just or as an NFT, really. What is your favorite NFT, Reese?
I think in that debate, it depends which way you're inclined as a person, right? Batman's always kind of got that darker, brooding side of the hero thing, whereas Superman's like happy and go lucky and saves the world and all that. So I think it depends on your personal proclivity as to which one you prefer. I think I'm more of a Batman fan on that front. The dark, marauding kind of side, clearly meets my personality.
Hey,
So yeah, that would be my choice. As to Batman versus Superman in the metaverse, who knows? We'll wait and see on that one.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Geomite, how about it, mate?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, got you there.
Yeah. So I have a couple questions about the move to Immutable X. The first question is, when we move from the Go chain to Immutable X, will all the collectible like metadata carry over, like chain of custody, the price sold history, and details like that?
Yeah. So all of that, I don't even know if you can see the price sold stuff on your end at the moment. But
Not
obviously,
anymore. Yeah.
yeah. So we can in our back end. So the devs have been rebuilding a new system to give you way more of that information. Previous owners, track all that stuff, previous prices, average out like say the last 10 that were sold of that collectible, and give you an appraisal value as well. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, all of that I think will make the move, and then they'll do whatever devs do to make that happen as well.
Are we expecting something like that before the move to Immutable X, like all that market analysis information?
No. I think Dan said we might re-enable the price you bought it at, because that was a feature. He said last week's AMA we probably removed that a little prematurely. But the move to Immutable is definitely the first thing to happen, and then we can kind of build in those features as well. So you've got a lot more information and a lot more transparency with your collectibles.
And then
Yep.
And then the related question is, when we do move to Immutable X, and when we're allowed to take it off the app, what kind of like information are we going to see for the NFT? Is it just going to be like a basic 2D image with fairly basic information, or is it any art going to come alongside with that?
Yeah, I mean, I won't know the specifics until it's happening, but obviously you won't get you won't be able to drop it in AR, do the full 3D things that you can do in the VV app, as it's designed for that. My understanding or impression is that it will be like a card, I guess, like some representation of the NFT. When it's in the VV app, you can use it as you can use it now. When it's out of the VV app, it really depends on where it's going and what kind of technology they can support as to what you can do with it. But I imagine that yeah, it's not going to have anything on what you can do with VV.
And then my next semi-related question is, are we still on track to see the MTL before the move to Immutable X?
Yeah, I'll chase that up actually. Yeah, I think we are. Yeah. I think that because they're kind of running as separate systems, that's something we can integrate beforehand. Obviously, there's always things that come up that we need to do this week. Obviously, we implemented the capture and redesigned the drop day system, right? And so things like that can throw the schedule out by a week or two, but it's definitely happening behind the scenes. Yeah. So the first, just to bring everyone up to speed, that first stage of MTL will be enabling you to cash your gems back to fiat. So you'll be able to kind of seamlessly move in and out of the app or extract value. Now that will require there's KYC. We do it through an MTL, for anyone who doesn't know, is a money transmitter license. So we integrate a third-party MTL. They handle all the KYC and that kind of stuff, your bank details, wherever your payments are going to or from. So yeah, that will be the first stage, and yeah, I think that's still on track. I'll put that on my list to chase Dan up about actually.
Awesome. And I do have a couple other questions, but I want to make sure I give the opportunity for other people to ask questions. So I'll jump back to the back of the line.
You may as well ask them while you're here, mate. We've got plenty of time.
Okay. Yeah, I have a couple. So, I guess for the new people, can you clarify what the first 40 minutes is reserved for? I understand the extra 50 is randomized for giveaways and promos, but what is the first 40 minutes reserved for?
Yep. So the first 40 have always been held by the company. All the number ones are going into a big VV showroom, which I think we'll probably see in the VVverse whenever that comes out. The vast majority of the rest of them go to the licensors. That's part of the deal, part of the contract requests. They want some for themselves, obviously, as memorabilia. Some they can do for promotions and giveaways. If it's specific artist work, some of they'll give some of those to the artists, that kind of thing too. So that's just always been part of the contractual obligations that we have to the licensors.
Okay, awesome. The next question is: we know the web platform is coming soon. I think you already said this in a previous AMA. I just want to re-clarify it. With this web platform, you cannot buy from the drop, correct?
Sorry, you just cut out there. Did you say you cannot buy from the drop, or you can?
That's correct. So when the web platform launches, people cannot use that to buy from the drop.
Incorrect. The web platform, the first version of it it's pretty much the app. It's what you see in the app, except enabled for a web browser. So you'll be able to perform all of the same functions in the app, outside of augmented reality, obviously, unless you've got some tethered headset or whatever. But no, that's designed. Once that launches, we really get to open our audience up, because right now, if you don't have a phone that can run VV, you don't have access to the app. So that really helps us open up to a wider audience, and then from there we build out the rest of the web features and things too.
Is it going to be thoroughly audited so like bots won't be able to get on there? Because once we hit the Windows or desktop platform, it opens the doors for like actual bots to come in.
Yeah. Like I think it's important for people to know that we work with the top security firms in the world on these kind of things, right? So like, not just the capture, all of our security measures already cut out emulators and bots. Anyone who gets caught loses their account and their collectibles, all of those things. So everything we do and build in is built in a way that cuts those things out.
Well, you actually answered another question that a lot of people are asking about. So if someone's account gets disabled or blocked for what emulator use or whatever use, they lose their assets and their account. Is that correct?
It's up to management. If it's someone that's been doing it for a long time, or it's been some sort of malicious or repeated offense, then yeah, they're probably never going to get access to their accounts again. Otherwise, it's up to Dan and up to the big boys as to what they enable, what they don't. It's all on a case-by-case basis at this point. But yeah, the best advice is to just not do it.
Awesome. Another question is about licensing. So let's say we have Mattel, or you guys have Mattel, and then Mattel also makes a lot of different toys for different manufacturers. So let's say Mattel makes wrestling toys, WWE toys. So in order to VV to get that license for that toy, does VV have to have the Mattel and the WWE license?
Yes. Licensing, and this is in no way confirmation that we have Mattel, but licensing is a pain in the bum. It's so layered, right? So, for example, the hoverboard, the Marty hoverboard, that was such a big deal because that hoverboard was the first time ever that it's been sold with the Mattel logo on it, and that's because you needed licensing approval, obviously, for the Back to the Future license, which is Universal, whatever studio it is, plus the Mattel approval for that. So, yeah, anywhere you see like multiple brands or multiple integrations, you need licensing approval from every single piece of that puzzle before you can launch that product.
Awesome. Sorry for taking a lot of your time. My next question is, when can we actually put 2 or collectibles in one AR shot, or more than one collectible, I would say?
Yeah, so there is an early article on the VV blog about this. We call them the blank showrooms, which is essentially, being able to place your things in a grid without all the walls and stuff of the showroom. So I'll try to get a bit of a development update from Dan on that front as to when those features are rolling out too. But that is one of the next iterations. I think showroom version 2 will roll out first, which we've all seen now last week. If you didn't, go and check it out on the VV blog. And then we'll develop the accessories and the blank showroom so you can drop all those things in AR too.
Should we also expect video recording around the same time?
Yeah. So there is a list. It might have been, I'll find an update article. It's on the VV blog. Oh, actually, I think it's on the Akomi blog, maybe the monthly wrap up or something. It just says everything that we have in development at the moment. So that kind of covered like Gems to Fiat, all the new showrooms. Yeah, I'll find that article in 1 second.
Okay. My next question is about gem transactions. I'm fully aware that there's a 500 gem daily limit, but if you send like 1 gem to a friend, or let's say 10 gems, you're unable to send any further gems within a 24-hour window after 1 transaction has been conducted. Is that supposed to happen, or that's just a bug?
No, I think that's by design at the moment. Once the MTL's in, I think that will open up a bit more. But yeah, there was a reason for it. I'll put that on my list and see if it's something that still needs to be a necessity, and I'll get back to you next week on it.
And then, sorry for so many questions. I got only one more.
That's all right. You're probably answering or asking things that a lot of people would have asked, so it's good to get them done.
A lot of people want to know what time system is the VV server synced to? Because, like, for example, for sure it's not synced to time.gov. Is there like a system or time server that it's linked to?
Yeah, it's linked to something, but we're not going to give that out. Otherwise, it gives people an advantage if they know where it's linked and what they can do.
Okay, thank you for answering my questions, and thank you for letting me take up your time.
No problem. And I've just found that article. So this is in our June monthly update if anyone wants to check it out. But currently in development, we have the migration to Immutable, the accessories for the showrooms, so the shelves, plinths, bases, that kind of stuff, the cover photos for showrooms. So when you go to your in-app collection tab, you can, originally this was a feature, but I guess it got scrapped at some point, so you can change the cover photo for each of your showrooms. If anyone doesn't know, you can have multiple showrooms as well, so there's that option too. In-app video recording features are underway. The MTL is underway. The devs are also developing new features for the upcoming comic book releases, which are going to be really fun, and showroom version 2, which you've already seen. So quite a few.
One more.
Yeah.
There's one more question I have to ask. It's not like actually not my question, but it's from Peter from Gen Chat. His question is: does the FA tag on collectibles apply only to the VV platform, or does it have a wider reach for that? For example, is it supposed to represent the first time it's on VV, or is it the first time it's on digital format in general?
This is the first time they're in digital format ever. We're the only ones with these licenses. So, don't get me wrong, I can paint a Batman and sell it and say that it's first appearance, but it's not an officially licensed product. It's not from the actual brand, right? That's a personal thing. So the FA tag is the first appearance of these characters ever in history in premium digital format.
Thank you.
No problem. Hopefully that answered a few other people's things too. And I'll continue to invite some people up. Dance621 and then Josh.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions about tokenomics, if you don't mind. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as I understand it, if I spend $1 on a gem, $1's worth of OMI would be burnt from the reserve wallet when I buy an NFT. And 7% of that dollar is then earmarked to buy back tokens from the circulating supply. Is that essentially correct?
More or less, yeah. It's 7% of or 10% of revenue, right? So that's whatever the revenue is minus App Store fees, minus royalties, whatever else comes out of that.
And then additionally, 2.5% from the marketplace is also earmarked for buybacks. So, I mean, obviously the marketplace can make up a large amount, but it still seems a little short. You're not going to have enough money to keep the reserve wallet topped up. Everyone's getting there excited about the burns, but of course it doesn't affect the circulating supply. So how's Akomi planning on raising enough money to replace the burnt reserve wallet?
Yeah. So there's a bit of a balance, right? As the token price goes up, the burn slows down, right? So with 300 billion in that reserve or whatever's in there now, 292, 293, that burn will slow down as more people come into the app and as more people are using it, right? That 2.5% in the market, once transacting OMI, will start to burn straight from circulating supply if you're transacting in OMI, as opposed to pulling from the reserve as well. But I don't know if that 2.5% goes to buybacks just yet. Now, this is just the current model, right? And the first model. As the user base expands and things grow and the utility of the token grows, we will tweak things as necessary to top up that reserve. But to be honest, with 292 billion tokens in there, plus the token price going up, burn slowing down, all of the kind of factors that will feed into that thing, I don't think we're going to run out anytime soon. So it's not really that crucial a thing to assess just yet.
So obviously, in that case, investors in the OMI token, speculators or investors, whatever you like to call us, we shouldn't be getting too obsessed with the burn rate of the reserve wallet. We should be more focused on the buybacks, which brings me to my next question, which is, from my calculations, and they're very basic calculations, you guys should have, if if you have been taking the 2.5%, the 7% from the NFTs, you should have a bank account with somewhere in the region of $30 million, which is earmarked for buybacks. Is that backdated, or are you only starting the buybacks now, and that 30 million is not going to be used for buybacks in the future?
Your calculations are definitely off, because we certainly do not have $30 million for buybacks. That would imply that we've made 300 million or more, which we have not. So that I don't know where that quite comes from. Is that accurate? 30 million?
Sorry, I meant 7% of 30 million.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the buybacks only started last month. No, I don't think they retroactively go back. There's a certain budget depending on whenever they kick them off, and whatever other considerations. But I'll get Dan on next week to chat a bit more about that, because I don't want to speak out of turn. So yeah, you're right in saying that the buybacks are more of a focal point than the burns coming from the reserve. Obviously, that is deflating the total token supply over time. But the buybacks are what are pulling it. That's what's pulling the circulating supply and deflating that. So that's definitely the focal point. But let me get Dan on next week to chat about buybacks a bit more.
Can I just follow up on that very quickly? Because you've got an updated tokenomics paper now, which I think was released a week or so ago. But the 7% buyback figure has been a sort of pledge from earlier Medium articles. So are you saying that because the legals weren't in place, that 7% is no longer eligible to be used for buybacks? Because that seems a little disappointing.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just saying that I don't have the finer details, so I don't want to speak out of turn about it.
All right.
Yeah. As we go. Yep.
One more really small one. I don't know if you're able to answer this one or allowed to answer this one, but I've noticed an increase in volume especially sort of last week, not this week, but last week. And I was wondering if that was related to buybacks, and if they're ongoing and they just haven't been announced yet, if you're just announcing retrospectively a month later.
They are ongoing. You mean just general volume on the exchanges?
Yeah, I thought not so much this week, but a week last week, the volume looked a little higher, and it wasn't related to any news. I was wondering if that was buyback related.
Yeah, I don't know if it's buyback related, to be honest. I don't think so. Really, the last couple of weeks, there's been a hell of a lot more interest in our project and in Omi. I mean, I've seen Omi talked about in quite a number of YouTuber videos now that have substantial followings. Obviously, we've been rolling out announcements left, right, and center, and I think that every one of those license announcements is giving people more confidence in the project, or validating what we're doing more. And then I think if you're forward-looking enough, you realize that each one of those announcements accesses a new fan base, which onboards new customers. And then once we enable Omi to NFT transactions, we literally have, potentially 500,000 or 1 million users that we can directly market that token to as well. So I think the volume and the renewed interest in the project is probably coming more from that than it is from buybacks.
Yeah, well, great to see anyway. Anyway, thank you very much, Rhys. Cheers.
No worries, mate. Appreciate it. Josh, 7291, if you're up here, and then Clutch McCain, maybe.
I'm here if need.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Josh, maybe your microphone's not on or you have to push to talk or something. Let's go Clutch McLean, and then we'll come back to you, Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, mate.
I wasn't sure if I heard it right or if you guys were talking about this, but I think I heard you guys said or maybe you were talking about something else. The bans, were they on a case-by-case basis, or was it just like anybody?
Yeah, anyone breaking our terms and conditions has their account disabled. Whether they get re-enabled will be on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's just that's the only thing I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Oh, no worries, man.
Just adding on to this question. So someone actually asked me. It's a community question. So they were curious about if their phone has been jailbroken or rooted. Apparently, it gets picked up as something that causes their account to be blocked. So I can't confirm this. This is just what someone's told me and asked. So could you guys maybe just clarify? Do people get their accounts disabled if their phones have been jailbroken or rooted?
That's a great question. Probably something you can give me more clarity on than I can give people, Kay. But my assumption is if it's been jailbroken and it's running some sort of emulator style software, then it would probably get flagged as being an emulator and then picked up and disabled. Is that how they run if they're jailbroken?
I mean, I've actually never jailbroken or rooted my phone. I've just, I'm too boring to do that stuff. But yeah, I think in this case, people are kind of asking if it's just a jailbroken or rooted phone, but they're not actually running anything. It's just they're using it like a normal phone. Apparently, they still get their accounts disabled, or people have reported that is what's happened, which is why they've kind of asked this question. So I'm not sure what would be the protocol in that case.
Yeah, I'll have to get some clarification, but I guess from our end or what we can see coming in, like we can't tell if, well, maybe we can, but I assume that we can't distinguish between a jailbroken phone and an emulator if they're both operating in the same way. And if one is blanket banned, then I guess the other one gets blanket banned at the same time. And otherwise, you're kind of just going off someone's word to say, no, it's just a jailbroken phone. I don't use it for any malintent. But I'll get confirmation on that. As you guys know, I'm not super devy on that front.
Cool, thank you.
No problem. Josh, has your microphone, you got that going? If you've never come up to the stage before, you may need to enable push to talk, which if you go into your settings on Discord, there's a bit of a button there.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you very much. And also thank you very much for all those efforts, mostly this week, about the capture and then other things. My question about the gaming, I was digging around about the Ecomi company, and then I saw something about what was Pixian brand, maybe Pixian Gaming, and then I reached them about the VV. I asked them, "Are you guys gonna make some NFT gaming or something?" They didn't give me some information about that, but I saw them they're partnered with Ecomi, and I really wonder, will we?
I just lost your microphone there, but that's fine. Yeah, Pixion, is it Campudia at Pixion, and I've forgotten his name, but Big Red Button Games, Jeff Lander, Big Red Button. You know, when we really started this project 4 years ago now, David and Dan, they're probably two of the most forward-thinking people I've ever met, you know, and they really laid out this vision, especially with Al, to kind of determine the next layers and where the direction this was going to go. And then they accessed, you know, a whole team of really incredible advisors to help to guide that vision. And two of those advisors happen to be, you know, the owners of these gaming companies. Now, as to what their involvement is, as to what sort of partnership, I don't have the details. I don't think we'll release them. I don't think they'll release them.
He's not going to say.
Unless it becomes an official sort of partnership. So, you know, probably don't hassle them. I'm sure they've got a lot to do.
Hear that?
But you know, just I take solace in the fact knowing that we have people like that on board, or at least, you know, as part of Dan and Dave's network, that can really help to guide our decisions as we move further into that space.
Thank you very much. And one more question: when Pokemon?
You know what? It's been a few weeks since someone asked me that. So I'll allow it. Oh, it's too good. All right, we'll come on back. Josh, have you figured that out yet, mate? It kind of looks like you're talking, but I can't hear anything.
I knew he wouldn't
Hey, y'all
answer that
hear me
question.
now?
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Awesome. Sorry about that, guys. I'm a noob here.
No problem. We all were at some point.
So just a quick question. I don't know if you can leak any information. Is there an idea of how many drops we can expect for Comic-Con?
Can't really leak information, but I guess I can say multiple. There'll be more than one brand. As to what drops within those brands, we'll just have to wait till next week to find out.
Okay, and so Comic-Con is
Oh, you just dropped out there, mate. I got Comic-Con is a and then something. We might have lost Josh. We'll come back to you again, mate. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to invite a few more people up.
Hey, Reese, you mind if I ask a question?
Yeah,
Hey,
shoot,
did
mate.
you hear me there, Reese?
Oh, yep. Sorry, Dizzy, hold up. We'll go back to Josh and then we'll come to you, Diz. Yeah, go for it, mate.
Sorry about that. So is it multiple throughout the 3 days, or are you only going to have one day with multiple drops that one day?
Multiple throughout the 3 days. Yeah, there'll be drops across the whole weekend, and all of this will become a lot clearer probably on Monday as we start to roll out more information pertaining to sort of what's coming. But no, there's multiple brands, multiple drops across the days, and I think all of them will have the Comic-Con exclusive tag, right? So similar to the first appearance or the first edition, this will be the first iteration of Comic-Con exclusive that we'll see. That will only sort of be available throughout the event, or the drops will take place throughout the event.
All right, and then just one last question referring to that. How much of an advance will you be giving us before the drop? Is it something we need to be watching Twitter constantly, like 5 minutes before, or will we know the day before?
You'll know.
You'll have plenty of notice. Yeah, plenty of notice.
Yeah,
excellent.
perfect.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Alex, I don't know if I don't think we can really reveal much more than that, can we, about the drops at this point?
No, not yet. Soon come, though. Soon come.
Hashtag
soon. Just do me a favor. Blink twice if it's going to be Marvel.
That's funny.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just adding on to the question about Comic-Con. Comic-Con is going to be across 3 days. Are the drops going to be across that duration, or is it all kind of concentrated on one day?
No, I think across each day there'll be something else, is the plan.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Dizzy, how about it, mate?
Hey, Reese, thanks for taking my question, and thanks again for guys doing this AMA every week. This company is the most involved and most transparent company as far as interacting directly with the community that I've personally ever seen in this space. My question is, you said two things tonight that really excited me, basically implying that the MTL was coming soon and that Gems to Fiat would be coming soon. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that process is going to roll out? Maybe not a timeline, but are we going to wake up one day with an update on the app and KYC will be required for sending gems and doing transactions? And will the MTL license require KYC for everybody to cash out, or will it become necessary for like gem transfers and model transfers as well?
My impression is that it'll just be to cash out, and it's something that you can opt into. So if you're a new user, it's not like when you first sign up to the app, you'll then have to register for KYC. I think that would be a bit of a barrier to entry for people who just wanted to take a look around. So I think it will be something in your profile or your settings, and you'll be able to toggle it on, and then you would go through the KYC process, and that will enable you to then be able to withdraw your gems or cash out that way.
Cool. Thank you so much.
No problem. And
Hey,
did you?
Riz.
Yep. Hey, Clutch. How are you, man?
Hey, I mean, first off, let me just say, you have a really cool voice.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. But I was just gonna ask, can I get nudes?
Yeah, PM me. Yeah, I've got a folder of them.
Alrighty then.
That's too good. It's better than When Pokemon.
Reese is
Let's
blushing.
do it. Mighty Mag, if you're up here, you got a question, mate? How about it?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I just had a quick question. I don't know if it's like too technical or basically if it's in the future you really wouldn't, or if it's in.
Oh, I just lost you there, mate. You might need to re-enable your mic.
Oh, there you go. Can you hear me now?
Yep. I got in the future.
So in the future, I mean, maybe it's too technical or maybe you couldn't share it if it is in development, but, you know, something like an overlay, because some of these superheroes are like, you know, some of our most favorite prize superheroes. Some of us have grown up with these, you know, idols, I guess you could say. But if you is there any, you know, anything in the pipeline that you could answer where basically they can overlay it over top of you, and then you could actually, you know, through AR play as your superhero?
Yeah, I have seen this kind of moving around. I don't know if anyone's seen Artifact, RTFK, whatever the abbreviation is. But I've seen some early fashion NFTs where, you know, you can see people in AR wearing their kind of things. Now, whether we develop something like that, I'm not entirely sure. I think the first iteration of something like that would maybe be, you know, being able to use your collectibles as your avatar in the VVverse or something like that, right? So we want to build utility into your collectibles first. But we've definitely discussed adding a augmented reality overlay of the VVverse in the real world. Now, I don't know what that takes from a technological standpoint, but I guess if you could look at your house, your real house, and it looked like your showroom in the VVverse or something, you know, at that point, I don't see why we couldn't create a way for you to wear like a Superman cape or something like that. But again, any use of the licensor's IP has to be approved by them. So I guess it would come down to that kind of that approval and also that level of fan engagement. Now, I think that these brands are very interested in trying to find new ways to engage with their fans and collectors. So if that becomes a reasonable technological advancement, then yeah, it's a possibility. But it's definitely not in the short-term time horizon.
Okay. I was just curious. There's just a question I had on the top of my mind. And then second question is basically, you kind of just answered it, but in your, it's kind of like a geolocation kind of thing. But, you know, if I put a VVverse picture up on my wall, or if I put Batman in the corner or Superman in the left corner, is there anything that you guys would want to do or in the works of doing where basically I can just turn on my app? I don't have to place it there anymore. The app knows that my picture of Ultraman, you know, picture frames already up on the wall, so I can kind of just scan the room and show my buddies and show my family, like, hey, look, I'm Superman and Batman is already sitting there.
Yeah. So that's why augmented reality technology is becoming so exciting, right? There's two things. Most new phones now, or they will continue to develop, are starting to integrate LiDAR technology, which is the same thing that self-driving cars use. And basically that enables your device to create a 3D map of the room, right? It can detect where your furniture is, where your TV is, all those kind of things. So that lets you, you know, not right now, but eventually lets you pin your collectibles essentially to certain locations, right? So that you could do exactly that, open the app and they're already there. Now, the next iteration of that is wearable technology. So I think Apple will probably be the first to come out with consumer-friendly AR glasses. But if we're all wearing AR glasses and you can walk into a room and it's, you know, your room has already been 3D mapped by your device or the glasses, well, then you enter this realm where you really do have a physical space that has digital content, you know, permanently there, right? So I think the future vision of that kind of technology is like, we might not have TVs anymore or screens. You would pin your Netflix app to the wall, and that's how you would watch TV. Or you'd walk in and you would see people's AR shelving with their Labbits and their, you know, your Superman in the corner and that kind of thing. And I think we discussed this briefly last week or the week before. All of this technology kind of feeds into our demographics and the evolvement of our cities at the moment, where apartments are getting smaller, people actually have less space to live in, so you have less room for physical goods. So it's really driving the digital product narrative, as well as starting to see that direct the development of the technology when it comes to augmented reality. So yeah, I mean, I think that we really are headed for a wearable future, and a future where we have this digital overlay in our physical reality, and in that space you want premium digital content, and we're the guys that make the premium digital content.
Awesome. I appreciate the questions, and I just wanted to say 5 months ago when I was on Telegram, and before we had these AMAs and all the drops you guys do on Medium and all that good stuff, you are a saint for putting up with some of the garbage that came through, but we all really appreciate it. I know everybody here does, of course, and just keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we're very blessed to have such a good team. So yeah, go for it, Josh.
Hey, sorry about that, Reese. Question: now that you guys announced Marvel, any of the Ultraman 2D prints, do those have the chance of eventually becoming into a readable comic?
It's a good question.
And also, will they ever get the Marvel logo on the cover?
So the 2D prints, as they are, as those artworks, no, they're the artworks, right? The comics themselves will be a separate product release. Now, Dan mentioned a couple of weeks ago, and maybe some people have missed this, that the comics will probably be one of our first sort of blind box style releases. So we might release the same comic book, but you have a 1 in X chance of getting an ultra rare cover, or a 1 in X chance of an uncommon cover, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's where some of the comic cover art will feature, but it will be part of the comic book itself, as opposed to turning the existing 2D prints into the associated comic book. As to whether the Marvel logo gets added, assuming you're talking about the secret rare Ultraman, I don't know, actually. I really don't know. I know we obviously had to remove it when we dropped it. So yeah, it's a possibility, but I haven't actually heard anything about it, so I don't want people to just run out and speculate and buy it.
That price just went up.
All right, and then to piggyback off of your answer there with the blind boxes, will blind boxes be minted? And also to piggyback off of that, if there is an ultra rare, like a chance of 1 in 100 to get an ultra rare, will that ultra rare be minted?
What do you mean by oh, you mean like have a 1 of 100 ultra rare cover? Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I think so. Everything has an edition number. So I guess your comic would potentially, like, say we release 1,000 of the same comic and you get 1 of the 100 ultra rares, then yeah, I guess it would come with an edition number too.
And then
I'll find out about that. Just maybe don't quote me on that just yet.
Sure. So maybe another thing to ask, if you don't mind, that if that is the case, and say you sell 10,000 blind boxes with the chance of 100 ultra rares in those 10,000, will you also give notification that all ultra rares will be sold or not? So to say 5,000 or 10,000 are bought, all of the ultra rares are already acquired. Will you tell people so they will not buy the last 5,000?
It's a very good question. I'll have to find out. I guess to be honest, I won't know many of these details until we're closer to releasing the comic books. But yeah, we'll have to find out. No, I mean, if it's randomized edition numbers and a randomized chance of getting an ultra rare or a common or whatever cover, then I don't know if they will. It depends how the randomization works, I guess. Maybe the very last one's still available as an ultra rare or something like that. But yeah, I'll find out. I don't know if we'll have those details until closer to release.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
No worries at all. Mr. Poor Man. Oh yeah, go for it.
When you buy a blind box, will it automatically have to be opened, or can I keep it unopened to sell it like on a marketplace?
So with the comic books, I just want to clarify, you're not buying a blind box. You will buy the comic that you want, and you have a 1 in X chance of getting a cover variation. with future brands and licenses, when there's blind box releases, like maybe it's the LOL surprise dolls or something like that. I don't actually know the answer, but we'll find out when we get closer to that. So for comic books, it's not, you're not buying a blind box of comic books. You're buying the comic book that you want, and you have a certain chance of getting a variation cover.
Kind of like how the comic book store itself has to buy 100 of the normal variants to get the special variant.
Correct.
Awesome. Thank you.
No worries. It helps to have collectors running the ship, you know?
Slick Slack, I guess, booted herself off the stage, and then I just wanted to say shout out to Poor Man Printing.
Hey, buddy, I appreciate it.
Mr. Poor Man, how are you, sir?
Hey, what's going on, Reese? I just want to say you do have a beautiful voice. It's kind of like a radio voice with a little spice.
Thanks, mate. Fun fact: I did work on breakfast radio as a young gentleman.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Hey, but I have a lot of community questions, so I'll probably hit you with like two, and then go to somebody else or something like that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, first question. Can you tell me who has the number 265 Labbits?
Why are people searching for these Labbits? That's the second time I've heard this question.
I don't know.
You know, as I mentioned earlier, I accept bribes for these kind of things. We can try and find it for you. Leave it with me.
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter. I sent you a message 3 days ago, so I'm expecting something back.
All right, sir. I will get back to you. What's your next one?
Okay, let's see here. Why can't we change our nickname inside the VV app and also the profile? Is there any way around that, or?
Yeah, so the username, once it's generated, is linked to your wallets. So if everybody could kind of chop and change usernames, all that kind of thing, it just kind of creates a bit of a headache. I think the eventual plan is to be able to enable that, and maybe that's helped once we move to immutable, just with whatever tech developments are going on. But initially, that's the reason why. It's just easier once you've created your account. We know what wallets that's linked to. It's easier to track, you know, to be able to attribute your collectibles to your account rather than everybody changing usernames every 5 minutes.
Hey, I like that. That's pretty cool. So, second question. Will we be able to release an NFT in the auction if it doesn't sell currently? Right now, it's not letting them.
Release it as in...
I guess cancel the auction.
You can cancel the auctions, can't you? Oh no, you can cancel by now. Once it's up for auction, it's up for auction. Yeah, look, I guess the same answer to a lot of these kind of questions. Like, we're still very early in the app and the capabilities, and we'll continue to build in features that make it more user-friendly for people. You know, I think really the frustration people have is that right now the auction, once you put it up, it's up for 72 hours, even though the vast majority of that action happens in the last 24. So I think the first iteration we'll see will allow you to reduce the time you put something up for auction, and I think that will probably solve a lot of those kind of niggly annoyances anyway.
Okay, that answers are pretty good. So I got two more if you got time, or if you want to go to somebody else. It's cool.
No, go for it, mate.
All right, let's see here. My question is, I know the plan is to take NFTs out of VV to like OpenSeas and stuff, but could we possibly see us taking OpenSea NFTs back to VV where it's really cool and stuff?
Probably not. Our key point of difference is that we provide premium curated content. Now, we never really wanted VV to just be an open marketplace platform like OpenSea. Now, so, you know, some of the content that people create on those platforms is incredible, but a lot of it's rubbish. And we don't really want to flood our marketplace with all those kind of things. There's enough marketplaces and platforms that already do that. So, no, our key point of difference has always been to provide premium content. Now, within that, if there are some incredible artists on these platforms, which there are, you know, there's some really amazing 3D artists. Our plan longer term is to be able to incubate some of those through the Artist Alley on VV, you know, so it gives them a chance to access a more targeted audience, but also potentially a broader audience with broader visibility than what they would get on that kind of marketplace. But it's definitely not the plan to just open a two-way street for people to sell whatever they want on VV.
Yeah. I guess I was meant to say like maybe taking some art off of OpenSeas and bringing it to my showroom to hang it up there.
Yeah. Look, that could build out with the VVverse for sure. If everything's on the same standard, then it's definitely a possibility. The same way, I guess, you do with Decentraland now. You can take any sort of ERC 721. So look, it's a possibility, but to begin with, it will definitely be sort of premium branded stuff still.
Okay, that's pretty good. So I got one more question. This is far-fetched, it's way in the future. Will the VVverse ever be like Netflix or Apple? TV, original series, and movies. Could we possibly see a Kung Fu Choppers on VV like Netflix and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the direct comparison is sort of the Netflix or Amazon, but yeah, we've talked about once you can expand your showroom, we really want that to be your own customizable digital space, right? And if some of you have explored Decentraland or some of these other metaverses, you can go and watch screenings or viewings of things. You can host panels and events, music concerts, all of that kind of capability is enabled with the metaverse, and we're definitely aiming for those kind of things. Maybe you visit your friend's showroom and you both sit on the virtual couch and watch your moments or collectibles or whatever on the screen. Like there's all of that capability is definitely enabled within the VVverse and the future plans of it. So, yep, I guess to answer your question, I guess we could definitely see some of that.
It's way in the future.
Yeah, for sure. But we want to be the place.
So I appreciate all that. One more question. Can you send me a picture of the shampoo you use?
Sure. Yeah. I'll send it with the next tweet, mate.
All right. Hey, I appreciate it, Reese.
No worries, mate. Always a pleasure. Guys, if you're on the stage and you've asked your questions and you don't mind returning to the audience, and I'll bring a few more up just so it doesn't get too messy.
Hey.
Oh shit.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
So this Thursday's drop obviously got moved to this Saturday. So my question is, with Comic-Con being next week with a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday drop possibly each day, do we have a chance of seeing a drop also on Thursday? So a potential 4 days of drops in a row, or are you going to chill off Thursday for now?
I think we're going to chill on Thursday. Alex, is that what we're thinking? Everything will kind of roll out through Comic-Con?
Yeah, likely Comic-Con weekend only. I don't think we have anything on the docket for Thursday. I mean, I could be wrong, but for now, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, and then so will Saturday drops stay a thing, or are we going to be ending up going to be keeping Thursday as a default drop day?
I think we're going to continue to experiment. We really have, taken the feedback of the community about when they like to see him, and obviously we're going to look at the data as well. I think we've liked having it midweek, but we saw one that we did on the weekend do fairly well, and some people, don't want to have to step away from work meetings to try to get in on a drop. So, we'll continue to experiment.
Cool. So what type of stuff do you look for on drop days to see if it's better than others? I mean, it seems on Thursdays every time you guys drop out in sell out, in less than a minute or so. What else do you look for?
Angry tweets.
I'm glad you said it. It's funny that really is a good way to gauge what's going on. Angry tweets of, I got out of bed for this, blah blah blah, But no, I guess we can see how many people are participating in the drops. The demand for them, what's kind of going, like who's going for what or that kind of thing. But you're right. At the moment, the demand is pretty high for everything. So being able to spread them out on different days or at different times now is more experimenting with, I guess, making that more available to people in different time zones and on different days. You know, if we see that we're getting more engagement on a weekend, for example, because it's opening accessibility to more people, then maybe that becomes, you know, a regular feature as well. Because we are going to continue to move towards multiple drops per week. You know, so we have to kind of experiment with different days and different time zones to see what's available. But we also want it to be regular enough that you know, okay, Thursday's coming up, there's going to be a drop. You know, not just like one week it's a Monday, the next one it's a Wednesday, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's more just just pulling the levers and seeing what the results are at the moment.
I mean, the goal is drops every day, right? I mean, that's, you know, pie in the sky.
Yeah, I guess. But don't tell Dan that yet, because he might have an aneurysm.
I don't know. I'd probably give him a heart attack.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, there's so much work that goes into each drop, other than the asset creation and design, which happens months in advance, and it back and forth with the licensors, every part. Then all the bits in the app have to be approved. All the articles get written. All the marketing and promotions get built around them. So, you know, to actually get to a point of consistent, you know, double or triple drops in a week is quite a lot of lead time. But we're definitely getting there. You know, obviously with Alex and Noah on board now, and Trevor really handling things on the assets side, all the studios we work with. We're getting to that point where even if a licensor knocks something back or takes too long, well, there's something else to take its place for that week, and we can kind of press play on that instead. So all a work in progress, but we're definitely working towards that goal.
Awesome. Sorry again. With Saturday being Ultraman Day, could we have a possibility of seeing Ito finally being released?
Is it this Saturday or next Saturday?
I believe it's this Saturday, the 17th.
I'm going to say no, just so that no one gets their hopes up. No, I don't think so. I think there's too much going on with Comic-Con to be able to squeeze another one in.
But what are they dropping at
All right,
Comic-Con?
so another one drop week.
That, and we have Ecto 1.
Marvel.
Oh yeah, Ecto 1 drops Saturday. Yep.
Yeah, people were asking
What
that in
did I tell you?
Discord earlier, and I told them that they spelled Ecto wrong.
Sweet. Hey guys, I'm just going to run to the bathroom, but if anyone's got questions for Alex and Noah while they're here, how about it?
So Alex, is there going to be one drop this week or this weekend, or can we have a chance of two?
There is going to be one.
Awesome. And then also, how are you enjoying being part of the VV team?
Man, it is super, super cool. I got to tell you, like, you know, I was excited about it, you know, researching and kind of doing all my due diligence when I learned about the opportunity, and I was really looking at NFTs. You know, I'm fairly new to the space, to be quite honest. But as soon as I started and I saw the vision coming from Dan, David, and Al, and Rhys about just how, you know, excited and thorough these guys are in building a really awesome product and community. I'm loving every minute, to be honest with you. This is probably one of the most exciting jobs I've had, and I've worked in some pretty cool spaces. But you know, it's only up from here, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity.
That might happen, 3G.
Nice. Would you just so you know we can kind of have a idea in your aspect of how sweet the job is for you? What would be your second runner-up job that you've previously held that you can compare to this, but just, you know, maybe to something that's more common for people to know other than VV?
Yes, I was a wedding singer for a short stint.
Seriously?
All right, I need to hear a song. Come on, sing something.
Yeah, no, actually, that is actually 100% true. But to answer seriously, I was part of the founding team at Vivo, funny enough, which is, you know, music videos on YouTube and whatnot. But I guess now, what is it, 12 years ago, or a little longer than that? Launching that brand and that product was really exciting. I got to work with a lot of artists and a lot of labels and
music.
You know, it was a good time.
He said music.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. So I could see you being a key piece possibly in helping get some artists into Vivi? Maybe
Yes,
songs
yes,
or
yes.
pictures of their album covers.
We shall see.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
All right, guys, I've just invited a couple more people up to the stage. If anyone's asked their questions, if you don't mind returning to the audience too, just to clean this up a bit. So while we're here, who we got? How much your chain cost?
Yes.
You got a question there? And then Sam Beckett.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering what kind
What
of
up,
gear we
Pineapple?
could be expecting to see this weekend. Whether it's gonna be like a picture one or
Sorry, what kind of what? Sorry, I missed that.
capture.
It's the Google capture, right?
Was it it was a capture question? I missed the capture. Yeah, if you you can see it already. If you already have if you've downloaded the update, you can go to, if you go to make a purchase in the store, like a Batgirl or whatever, if you hit buy now, it will then bring up the capture. So yeah, it's constantly evolving one. No worries. And just on that, for anyone who isn't a native English speaker, you can change the language of the capture. So once it opens in the lower left corner, you'll see the little EN. If you hit that, you should be able to change it to your language to make things easier.
Can you change it before
All right,
the drop?
Mr. Moogly, you got a question for us?
Yeah, I got just a couple quick things here.
Go for
First one's just a quick quality of life thing. So when you view your collectibles like in your collection, if you click on them, you can sell them, and you can't actually view them in the market from that screen. You have to go all the way to the market and then go through the menu there and find them instead of just like clicking it from your collection. So I was actually talking to a couple people about that today, and they thought it was a little bit the button would be a little bit better there too.
I need to hear it.
Yeah, you mean so you can't go directly from your actual collectible to seeing your listing in the market?
Yeah, or not even that, just to see other listings in the market. Like if you want to, like if you're about to list the collectible, for instance, and you want to see what other people are selling it for, you can't just go from your collection to the market for your collectible. You have to go through all the other steps with it. Like if I clicked on my collectible in my collection right now, I can sell in the market, I can transfer it, or I can see my other additions. There's no, like, if you go to the store and you see a collectible, you can view them in the market, but if you go from your collection, you can't. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah. I'm just looking at it now. Yeah.
That does
So you
make
want to be able
sense.
to open that information screen and then
Yeah,
just see.
it'd just be a lot easier than going through everything. Just make it a lot quicker. Just going back and forth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, rather than going market, search the brand.
Yeah,
find the-
exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when there's more collectibles coming in, right? It'll get more and more tedious to go through the menu there every time if you don't have to.
Yeah, agreed. I think the obviously the eventual plan would be to be able to just search for that exact collectible. But yeah, I think going from your actual collection information into that would be better. I'll make a note.
Awesome. And then the second thing is just a quick question. To be eligible for the Comic-Con drops, do I have to be watching the Comic-Con for an X amount of hours, or is it just like everyone will be eligible for the drops?
That's another good question.
No, I think-
Everybody is eligible.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll release info next week about what's coming, what's dropping, what days to expect them, that kind of thing, and then it will run like an ordinary sort of drop.
Sweet. That's all I had then. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you and appreciate your time and everything.
No worries. Thanks for the feedback. We appreciate that too. Who else we got up here? Fancy
Rhys.
Oh yeah, jump on in, mate.
Do you know if the teams nailed down the logistics of the paired physical and digital drops?
Logistics being how we're going to mail them out, that kind of thing, or how the drop's going to take place?
Both.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think I saw the boxes for them the other day, so I guess they're all sort of production ready and ready to go out. From what I'm pretty sure the drop will take place exactly how they do now. It's just, that first 100 or 200 people, depending on the edition, will get super lucky, and then we have your contact details or your email linked to your username. So I guess we'll then contact those users who are lucky enough to secure one to get those details to send out the physical edition.
And just to reiterate, last time y'all said that no editions will be held back, correct?
Yeah, they're all available. Yeah, there's only 100 of each, 100 silver, 100 gold, so they'll all be available as far as I'm aware. It's not like this isn't like a normal drop where we'll hold 40 of them or whatever.
Right.
Perfect. Do you have anything else while you're up here?
No, I'm good for now.
Easy.
I've got a question that's coming from Ray Fixie. Basically, someone was trying to send Ray Fixie a collectible, the him, but they've sent it to the wrong Ray Fixie, because you know how sometimes there's like capital I's and all these kind of like characters that look similar. He's just asking, is there anything that can be done if a collectible's been sent to a wrong person?
That's a very good question.
That's a very good question.
I would just say to open a support ticket if they've got the evidence that it was meant to go to the other one and that kind of thing, maybe. But I actually don't know what stance we take on that.
I don't know.
So yeah, if the person's listening, I'd just say open a support ticket. They'll Lucas will be able to look into it and let you know. Anything like that, I guess you've got to be able to prove. But just on that note, for anyone sending collectibles around, always safer to send the other person your QR code, generate your QR code, and then there's no mistakes. That's not the first time I've heard, you know what scammers are like in any sort of space. They will use any abbreviation or slightly changed version of a username. I think 3 Dans contacted me on Telegram this week to try and scam me out of something. You just need to be wary of all those kind of things and always try to ensure that you're sending things to the right person. Don't just make assumptions.
Just on the point of the Dan, so I had one more contact me, and he basically asked me to send him a transaction, so I sent him the picture of the Reese Weatherspoon.
He did too. I seen that.
Would have made his day. It's too good. All right, Sam Beckett, if you're up here, how about it, mate?
Hi, thanks. I have 2 questions. First, I was one of the individuals that got disabled. Once I learned about Windows 11 having a emulator built in and reading your terms of service, I thought it was safe to see what your app looked like on my Windows machine. So I would like to apologize for looking at an emulator. So are you guys going to be supporting Windows 11 Android App Store? Yeah.
I have that. I didn't have that problem.
That's a good question. I'm not really a Windows person, but when the web app is available, the browser platform, that's what we'll be using. I don't think it will be our app available in a computer-based app store. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. How about the Samsung Dex? Can you use that with VV?
I also don't know the answer to that question. I'll put it on my list and find out. Is the Samsung Dex an emulator as well, or is that just?
It's the opposite. It allows you to use a monitor and a mouse on your Samsung phone. So it turns your phone into a computer.
Yeah. No, well, I think in that instance, if that's just giving you better access to the same operating system, then it wouldn't be. If it's just letting you use a mouse or a keyboard or something, then I don't see any issues there. It's only if you're accessing the app through an emulator or something else.
Yeah, I didn't use any bots or any scripts, and I just got disabled, and I'm just, what do I need to send to Dan to help get my account reactivated, possibly?
So don't send anything to Dan. He has enough on his plate. You just want to open a ticket at help.vv.me. That will be, that's the support portal.
I have. Thank you very much. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, they'll get back to you about it. No worries. Bad Hair Club, welcome to the stage. You may need to enable push to talk if you're new to this. So if you go into your settings, you need to assign a hotkey to be able to use your microphone if it's not working. And while we're doing that, Fancy Fingers, you're up here if you want to ask a question.
Yeah, I got you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I got a simple question. Very, very simple.
Hey, go ahead.
Will the VVverse be a Care Bear server like Lollipops and Cotton Candy, or will we be able to punch little kids in the face?
I don't think you'll be able to punch little kids in the face. I don't know how else Yeah, look, the VVverse will be it's an evolving sort of project, right? So the first iterations are really going to be more of an extension of your showroom, and kind of give you a digital location in that digital space. And then we start to build in more experiences and things. So if you haven't seen the Al Khan interview that we did 2 weeks ago, I'd say go and watch that. Al sort of describes it a little bit. But I guess the takeaway, or how I'm thinking about it at least, is that you're almost building in like digital theme parks with different experiences, whether it's branded content or whatever. And VV is almost like a digital gift shop that enables you to purchase the merchandise of the brands you like and that kind of thing, and then interact with it or put it into your own digital space. But as that evolves and becomes more immersive, like, I don't know what direction it goes in, but I don't think it results in being able to punch kids in the face.
All right. So will it be like a roller coaster tycoon type thing where we be able to build inside of our own little world by itself, or will it go to just gameplay of anything?
Yeah, I think to start, the experiences and things are built by us. Eventually, I know I've spoken to Trevor about this briefly, that we may be able to open it up to some sort of, like Minecraft style thing or roller coaster tycoon style thing. I know that's his favorite game, but I don't think that's anytime soon. Your ability to customize things is more in your own personal space, and that's more to do with your showrooms and interacting and displaying your collectibles, at least in the first iterations.
One more question.
Yep, go for it.
Mario 64 was able to jump through pictures and go to different worlds. Will we be able to jump through a picture and go to somebody else's showroom?
Yeah. The whole idea, maybe not jump through a picture, but yeah, you would have like your friends list, for example, and you would be able to teleport to their showroom or check out their space or things like that. I kind of imagine a day where like you'll be able to drive your DeLorean from your showroom to your friend's showroom, and then both play games together in whatever digital theme park or
Yes.
area of the VVverse that you're in. So
Yes.
I think that's kind of the eventual transition. But yeah, there'll definitely be ways to interact with your friends in the metaverse and access their area or their showroom, that kind of thing.
Sounds good, man.
Sweet. Thanks for stopping by. Guys, just another reminder, if you've had a question, please return to the audience so I can bring a few more people up. Now, Fancy Fingers, you got a question there?
Yeah. I just got a couple. The first one I mentioned, Rhys, you're my favorite Kiwi of the group. So I really like your guys' demeanor. I think that's because you're New Zealanders.
I'm going to have to stop you there, bro. I'm Australian. You've just offended me. That is outrageous.
I did just offend you. Favorite Aussie.
I'll take it.
So my first question is, with the new showrooms, which look awesome, will we be forced to use that, or will we have the original showroom as an option? Because I've been spending hours building my different showrooms, the current showroom. So what will happen with that?
That is a very good question.
Exactly, John.
Now, I'm not going to confirm this either way because I don't know if it's the case. But we've discussed that if you have a current showroom, before we roll out the new one, then you have the choice if you want to keep that, and then you can generate a new showroom, which would be showroom version 2. If that is the case, it means that anyone in VV now would be the only people actually, that would ever have like the retro showroom, if you want to call it that. So I think that's the way we'll go, but it depends on the actual implementation of that. If that's not the way we go, the version 2 of the showroom has actually been built to the same specifications as version 1, same size, same sort of layout. So your current showroom would actually just kind of transfer straight across into the new one. So you wouldn't really need to adjust much to adapt to the new one.
Awesome. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay, the last question. There's always haters in every group, but you guys as a team really are polite and kind to the haters, and you really take it on the chin, way a businessman should. How do you do that, and do you guys talk about that often?
How do we do it? We take a few big breaths and try not to put my head through a wall too often. No, look,
you hire people with the demeanor of Noah.
Yeah. That too.
Okay.
Yeah. No, look, I think a lot of, for me personally, and maybe the other guys can chime in with their opinions, a lot of frustrations that people have tend to come from either a lack of understanding, that they don't understand why something's been done a certain way or where something is going, or they feel like they've been shorted because they missed out on something. Now in the collectibles world, that's kind of just how things go, right? There's a lot of people going for very limited edition items. There will always be people that miss out, but fundamentally, like, everybody's choosing to be here, right? We haven't forced anyone to be here. We're not keeping anyone here. So I think people either figure things out for themselves and then come along for the ride, or they move on and do something else. Responding in kind to frustration never really helps. I think that it's always better to kind of kill people with kindness, and we try to do that as often as we can. And like, sometimes those frustrations are very justified. There's things that we do truly just have to cop on the chin and take on board and try to build a better way to do something. So I guess that's how I've always approached it. And to be honest, I'm just kind of battle hardened from 3.5 years of this. So it's kind of just, you just take it as a daily activity these days. But Alex or Noah, maybe you have a different opinion on that?
No, not a different opinion, but like you said, battle scarred after 10 plus years in social. I think you just kind of get used to there's always going to be some trolls and some bad actors, but at the end of the day, we're really trying to help everybody out the best we can. And to Reese's point, yeah, sometimes we get it wrong, but everything else we're going to do is going to be listening and trying to help the best we can. I kill them with kindness is always good. That said, we can play around a little bit. We can give it back a little bit if you're being unreasonable. But it's all in good fun. And at the end of the day, we're not saving the world here. We are collecting digital collectibles, and this should be a lot of fun. So let's have some fun.
Agreed. Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean,
Thanks so much, guys.
no worries. There's definitely been a few moments where I've mic dropped a couple people, but yeah, I don't know. I think they deserved it, to be honest. It's pretty rare that it happens. So yeah. Who else we got up here? Shadowblade, you got a question?
Yeah, I got a question. Actually, I got 2 questions and then a request. So I guess my first question is, I'm really like big into anime and video games, things of that nature. And so I'm kind of like wondering, like, have y'all been in talks with like anime studios or creators, things like that? And is that something we'll see in the near future or late future?
Here we go.
Yep, definitely. Anime and animation are one of our product verticals. So it's definitely on the cards. We obviously, we've rolled out some of our big licenses. We're obviously holding quite a lot more close to our chest at the moment. But one of the goals is to really be able to regionalize some of that IP and that content, right? And obviously anime is big all around the world, but I think it's fair to say that it's concentrated, in Asia, Japan, Korea, that kind of thing. So we are definitely looking to bring on licenses that are more specific to a vertical and more specific to a region. So yeah, we'll see anime on the platform at some point.
My Hero Academia.
Sweet. Awesome. Don't forget to pay respects to the big 3. And then my second question is, I'm on the app a lot, and sometimes like I hear a lot of people asking like, hey, who has such and such, such and such? Is there a way, or is there an idea, I guess like, is there anything being worked on to where like maybe if I know like I'm looking for Superman, 100 and whatever, and if someone like puts it on the market, like I can get like a notification or something like that, like, hey, this thing you've been looking for is finally on the market. Is there anything like that being worked on?
Yeah. It's not something that's probably going to roll out in the next couple of months. But we're definitely trying to build in ways that make it easier for you to find the collections and the sets that you want. We've also talked about a feature, and I think this is something you would have to opt into or out of as a user, where eventually when you can actually contact other collectors in the app, you might be able to accept offers for your collectibles, right? So that would mean that people need to be able to see what you have, whether that's you're exploring someone's showroom and you might be able to tap their collectible and it will give you the information, like Superman number 192 or whatever, and then you might be able to make an offer to them at that point. So yeah, it's definitely, all of those things are definitely in the works for further down the development pipeline for sure. But we definitely want to build that in.
Sweet. And then the last thing is a request. It's gonna be kind of corny, but all right. So when y'all, let's say you have or have not, I'm not gonna push you to ask on talking about with Disney and those NFTs and stuff to come. Like I said, I'm big into anime and I'm big into gaming, and Disney has this amazing gem called Kingdom Hearts. I would die a very happy man if one day that is on your platform. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And also Kay, Cavell, Taps, and Poor Man Printing. Y'all keep me entertained all the time. Thank you for all your content.
Hell yeah, brother. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll endeavour to get as many licenses on board as we can. This is in no way confirmation of Disney or any other brand. But yeah, obviously we want to be the platform, right? So yeah, we'll try and access everything. Personally, haven't heard of Kingdom Heart, but I'll check it out.
Thank you.
I think there is a request channel in our VV Discord server. There used to be like a you could request the brands that you wanted or licenses. I think it's still there. Maybe it got spammed too much. I'll have a look. Feature requests, maybe. Anyway,
probably because I already asked for Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, there you go. It's on the agenda then. Yeah, perfect.
Just on the point of the brand, so another kind of conspiracy theory that's been going around. So people have been looking into the app, and on the Toy Tokyo logo, if you zoom in really, really, really closely, you can see Super Mario.
Oh, listen to that.
I'm like talking about that. So I don't know if you guys have anything to say on that.
No, that's just the background, guys. Don't read too far into these things. I think some people have already figured out. This is actually the second round of that speculation that I've seen.
Yes, Ryan.
But I'm pretty
day,
sure that
multiple.
the background of that Toy Tokyo thing is just an image of the storefront of Toy Tokyo or the original shop or something like that. So no, that's as I mentioned earlier, licensing is incredibly layered. Now those are products that Lev sells in Toy Tokyo or has done collaborations with. That doesn't just automatically translate to us getting them. But I think that people are probably starting to piece together that just how interconnected all of these things are. And one product has licensing approval from 3 or 4 others, depending on what it is. So as our offering and the licensors that we bring on board expands, so too does our network. Obviously it would be great. Alcan obviously had a big hand in Mario Brothers in the earlier days, and Zelda, and
yes, they have
else.
they have
I'd love
Nintendo
to see it
guys
on there too, but we'll see what happens.
I appreciate that.
I noticed on the Toy Tokyo
Doge.
Instagram, actually, the VV official Instagram account has been liking a lot of the kind of banned Presto figures, specifically the Dragon Ball Z ones. So I don't know, like when Goku.
Look, Kay's coming with the conspiracy theories today. I love it. It's like a whole vertical of this, man.
You gotta watch them, guys. Noah, you've been liking stuff with VV on the VV profile?
That was not me. I'm not sure who it was. I'm sure we follow those accounts though. I mean, because the licensors we work with and stuff.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Also, there's like 5 other accounts that say like variations on VV Collectibles, VV, you know, 2 underscores official and all that stuff. Bunch of impersonators. The only one is the official one, and if we happen to like Dragon Ball Z, it was because one of us happened to be scrolling through the feed thinking it was our own, and
Yeah,
accidentally
that's probably why.
like.
Yeah, and Dragon Ball Z is awesome. So, can't blame you for that one, gents. Junkyard Gravy, you got a question? And then Biscuits, maybe, if you're up here.
Hey, Reese. Yeah, thanks for fielding it. So last week you talked a little bit about licensing, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more specifically about Back to the Future and how licensing would work with that. Would other companies be able to create hoverboards, Marty boards, for example? I'm asking for them in particular.
Well, no one has done it yet. And considering how long Back to the Future's been out, and no company has been successful before us. I mean, yeah, technically, if they got licensing sign-off from, with the Back to the Future license and from Mattel to be able to produce the product with that licensing approval, then sure, companies could do it, or a physical toy company or whatever. In the digital space, not going to happen. We've been working with these licensors for years to get to this point. So if you're referring more specifically to can someone else create that same NFT, no, I don't think so. But yeah, just to reiterate sort of what we've touched on already, when it comes to licensing and those kind of things, like it's so incredibly layered that any sort of branding or company product like that, especially if it's across 2 different brands, well then yeah, you need approval from all parties involved to be able to create that, because you're using their IP in some capacity.
That's helpful. So it's very unlikely that someone's going to be coming out with a Marty board with a Mattel logo on it in the near future.
Are you referring to a physical product or digital, or just in general?
Digital. Sorry, yeah, digital.
No, not in digital. At this point, with all the licenses we have on board and literally continually signing more on and more artists and that kind of thing.
Yes, we can.
It would work against these licensors to then offer that same IP for the same sort of product. They'd just be diluting their potential market share and the impact that product has. So no, I don't see that happening anywhere else.
Great. Buying a few more Marty boards as we speak. Appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Who else we got? Biscuits, are you up here? I did mute your microphone earlier, so you may have to unmute yourself.
I'm sorry, I probably accidentally talked, and yeah, I'm not used to this.
And
But
if not, Gammaverse, and I'll bring a few more people up.
can you hear me?
Jacket B49, welcome to the stage. If you've got a question, go for it.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, got you there.
Perfect, cool. Just want to start off by saying thanks for everything that you guys do. This product has come.
Sorry, mate, we just lost you there, but appreciate the appreciation. Yep, go for it.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so I'll get straight to my question again. Just want to say thanks for everything you guys do. Regarding the move to Immutable, is there something that you're most excited about for that change that enables you to do new functionality, new freedom that you couldn't do on the Go chain? Anything specific like that?
For me personally, just being on Ethereum and part of that Ethereum ecosystem is huge. It's the most decentralized blockchain. It offers the most security of any network that's ever existed. The community is incredible. The technology is incredible. DeFi is on Ethereum. NFTs are on Ethereum. Like everything exciting happening in blockchain or crypto is happening on Ethereum. So, just from a personal standpoint, yeah, I'm incredibly excited to be over there, to be able to leverage their community and the trust in their community. From a functional standpoint, other than enabling, the interoperability of assets, like being able to send them to other platforms or whatever, it's not going to change that much. From a user standpoint, the VV app will operate in the exact same way. All of those things remain the same, which is obviously very crucial to us because that's what we've built. but yeah, from a personal standpoint, like I think to continue to validate us as the leader in the NFT space, especially for licensed digital products, there couldn't have been a better move.
Cool, thanks. I got one more question.
Yeah, go for it.
I've seen this comparison a lot, kind of like, maybe not saying the same growth will be there, but kind of investing in VV and even the Ecomi token now is kind of similar to one saying, you invested in Amazon when they only sold books, or maybe you invested in Netflix when they only had DVD shipping to your house. Do you kind of see that maybe turning out for VV? Again, maybe not in the sense it has
Here
the
we
same
go.
massive growth, but maybe in 5 years' time, like this
Amazon
first
question.
product is almost unrecognizable to what it has been.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'll preface this by saying this is in no way financial advice. This is all my personal opinion.
It's financial advice.
But yeah, absolutely. Obviously Amazon has expanded into a whole scope of products, but I mean, fundamentally, that's kind of what we're doing just solely in the digital space, right? We've started with these premium models, which will have their own iterations, animations, that kind of thing. Now we're rolling out comic books as a digital product. We've rolled out digital art already. There are so many things that can be either sold as a digital product or so many items that never could have been a collectible item before that can now be digitized and sold as an NFT. Like Al Khan brought up the example of the guy that created the original code for the internet, right? And famously never really made any money off it because it was a protocol, but he just bundled that up as an NFT and sold that, a few weeks ago for $5 million or something like that. So the digitization of everything is taking place, and you need a marketplace and an experience for people to be able to access that. And I firmly believe that we are that place. So yeah, I think in 5 years' time, I think even in 6 months' time, the VV you know and see now will be very different. But in 5 years' time, the offerings, the capabilities, and that will develop alongside the technology, whether it's your phone or wearables or that kind of thing, so that you're not just buying something, you're buying something that comes with its own experience or can be enhanced by that technology. So yeah, I see that comparison all the time, and it gets me really excited, frankly.
That's what I'm saying, guys.
Again, you guys are really killing it. To think about how far it's come just in these last 6 months, to think we're going to be 6 months further, it's kind of even hard to get a grasp on what that could be. My last question here, and then I will hop off and hopefully let someone else come on. Again, thanks for your time. I know you've been on with us for a while here. Obviously, I see you guys' intention to make collectibles that have already been released, have upgrades to make them more interactive. Is that something that we should expect with a lot of the collectibles that have already been released, or should we more so look forward to the new collectibles that will come out and be more interactive?
I think look more to the new collectibles. Some of them will be upgraded. We upgraded the Ritmo, and we're available. We may go back and retroactively upgrade some. But I think fundamentally the offering of interactive or animated collectibles, they'll come out as that type of collectible from day one.
Very cool. Again, thanks for everything. I will hop off here.
No worries, mate. Appreciate all the kind words. Salvador and then Slick Slack. Let's go that order.
Mine's not working too, as you know. So.
Oh, yeah, Gamaverse, you're working too. All right, let's go you first then, sir. Gamaverse, Salvador, Slick Slack.
All right, appreciate you. First off, shout out to you all. Rhys, nice speaking with you, man. So I got kind of like a two-layered question. Now, I know that with the VVverse, it's going to be multifaceted. I'm assuming that because me and my homies talk a lot about like the thing that certain things lack, or like even gamification is the customization of your own character and avatar. Now, I'm assuming that we'll be able to fully customize our avatar when it gets to that point.
Yes, yeah. Now you'll be able to customize these things, whether it's in the first stage of the VVverse or you can do it in the app before it or after it. Like I don't have the timeline on that, but the intention is definitely that maybe you can get a gold cape for Superman or things like that. All of those items have their own rarity as well, and then you can obviously bundle them into the same collectible. The best example is probably with cars, right? For example, like we've got General Motors as a license. So maybe when those roll out the first iteration is a certain car, but then eventually you can change the rims or change the paint job or something like that, right? And there might be a ultra rare paint job that you can give it, or an ultra rare rim or a common rim. So you create, it really creates that market for the parts or for the add-ons as well as the collectibles. Yeah.
Right. Oh, now that'd be crazy.
There it
Absolutely
is,
crazy. And
3G.
then, so you kind of already
There
answered
it
my
is.
question. So I was thinking too, because it can even get down to a further layer in regards to like collectibles. So not only a statue of some sort, but also you could get like an ultra rare, I don't know, Batman utility belt that comes for the Avatar, or like a Thor's hammer you can walk around with, or like, a secret rare Mark V Iron Man suit. So things like that are kind of like being thought of in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's why we keep reiterating that, what we're seeing now is the very early versions of what's available, because eventually, the more interaction, the more customization, really the more ways we can give you as a user to express yourself or express your fandom, the more things we're going to try and build in that direction. So, yep, all definitely coming.
Awesome. That is absolutely amazing, because that's going to blow stuff out the water, because now we can think about not only collectibles as in what you'll have in your virtual mansion, but what collectible you will have on as well, which is even a deeper layer. That's kind of crazy. So I appreciate that. I mean, that was one of my main questions, and I'll leave the floor to somebody else. Appreciate you, Rhy.
No worries, man. Appreciate it. Who do we say next? Salvador, you got a question there?
Thank you, and thank you. This is my first one. I'd like to shout out to the community. You guys are amazing, from Kay to Cavell to Poor Man Alpha Wannabe,
Hey,
Caps,
what's
Daniel,
up?
smaller folks in the comments. Everyone, absolutely amazing. Thank you guys all.
Thank you, brother.
Anyways, right now it seems that the prevailing opinion is to increase the number of users. I want to make sure you guys hear me.
Yep, we got you there.
Okay, thank you. Right now it seems like the opinion is to increase the number of VV users more than anything else. Not so much e-commerce holders, because more users, more market movements, more burn, and at the end of the day, all of us homies from the biggest to the smallest want the burn wallet to be the biggest wallet. So my question is, with users being the focus and Comic-Con, as you say, being a bit of a launch party, how many new VV users are you prepared to onboard, and how far have you been able to stress test the platform? If we get 1 million, 10 million, let's say 100 million VV users here in the upcoming weeks, at what point would you be worried about overwhelming the app?
Damn.
I think 100 million might push the limits a little bit there.
Talk to me.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't have the specifics, but the way the app is running now and the way that it's been re-engineered, we could easily handle into the millions without really blinking an eye. So yeah, I guess that's probably the shortest way to answer that question. We also have a couple of our devs now just kind of work permanently on scaling the app. So whenever these kind of influx events happen, we obviously prepare for them and then can prepare past that point as well. So I don't think we're at all concerned about the numbers. Now, as to how many people we might onboard from this, I guess it's hard to say without knowing how many people are going to attend. For me personally, I don't know what I know they normally say there's about 500,000 people that walk through the doors of the physical event.
500,000.
Maybe that's more, because it opens access to anyone to be able to enjoy Comic-Con from home.
Digital.
But by the same token, maybe it's less, because people really want that physical experience. So we'll have to wait and see just how many people we can put VV in front of and how many people show up for the event. But I think that the route we have chosen gives us the best possible chance to kind of access the largest audience there. So I think that little tidbit will make more sense when the information comes out.
Thank you. A couple more. The capture will be in multiple languages, but does that apply to the whole app? And if not, like, when will we be able to view the whole app in, say, Mandarin?
Yeah, so the capture, you can toggle the language. So I think the default will be English, and then you can switch it in the capture. The entire app, Dan mentioned a week or two ago that is in the works to start adding to all the language files so that we can enable it in the top 10 or 20 language groups around the world. I don't have a timeline on it just yet, but it's definitely in the works.
And last would just be a feedback from myself. It would be great if you could, when you click on your NFT, see what you paid for it when you bought it, like before, because like right now you have to search through all your transactions and guess which NFT of the same name matches up, and it's definitely a lot harder than it used to be. Last question, and I'll hop off, let somebody else get here. What date do you have circled on your calendar as a date that you feel things will be operating at full speed, as in dropping the optimal number of drops each week and like that well-oiled machine status? What date you got circled? Thank you.
Yeah, so just on the price feed, yeah, that was a feature. I think we're going to re-enable it until we move to immutable, and then once we kind of get that dev work out of the way, we'll open up a whole lot of other appraisal methods and give you a lot more information about sort of what you paid, the average price, what it's worth, that kind of stuff. So it's definitely in the works. The date to have things like, yep, this is the day, I don't know. To be honest. I mean, it's all hands on deck all the time still at the moment while we get these things running. I think there will always be an element of that. We'll always be building in new features and there will always be things come up that we kind of have to design around. But I think personally, I feel like we've kind of gotten through most of them at this end of the game. Like, 6 months in, we've had such an incredible testing period. Instead of testing with 5,000 or 10,000 users, we tested with 300,000. And that gives you so much more room to test the edge cases, all the things that we may not have found until now. We kind of found within the first 2 weeks. So yeah, I don't particularly have a target date or a moment where I think, yep, now we're in the swing of things. It's kind of a progressive story there. I don't know, Alex or Noah, do you have any feelings on that?
No, I think you nailed it. I mean, it's going to be a progressive thing, and there's always going to be like new capabilities, and as we start to roll out VVverse and things like that. I mean, it's going to be ever evolving, the product and the features, and when licensors come on board. So yeah, there's no date circled as in like by X date we're going to be all systems go, because we've been all systems go. And I can't speak for Rhys and the rest of the devs and everybody else. And I'm fairly new, but you can tell that these guys have been putting on a lot of work to this thing, and so I'd imagine that it's going to continue to stay at that clip for the time, foreseeable future.
Certainly feels that way.
Yeah,
So
that
where does
was for a couple of months too, right? So I mean, the pace at which everything has gone up to this point is really great. So yeah, I think we'll continue to see more and more new stuff as time goes on. It's exciting.
Agreed. Yeah, sorry, Salvador, did you have one more thing to add there? Otherwise, we'll throw it to Eric.
That was fantastic. Thank you guys so much for your answers. I was going to just say, if I could do it another way, would be to say, when would you expect to have your first NFT drop that has 6-digit number of editions, like over 100,000 editions for that NFT?
That won't happen.
When would you hope to see that happen?
I don't know if we are hoping to see that happen. There's a really fine line you have to kind of walk between availability and scarcity. Because fundamentally this is a collectibles app, and if we dilute the market with 100,000 of something, you're taking away that scarcity element. Now, maybe that's a number on a common once we've got to 5 or 10 million users or something like that. But I think it's more likely anything that has a super high run like that would be unbranded content. Obviously, the accessories and shelves and things, you kind of want quite a large amount of those things available. And maybe we, as we introduce like just some VV branded stuff or some OMI branded stuff, those things can be high run because they're not necessarily designed to be like collector's items. So yeah, I don't know if we'll get to that point, but I don't think that's the goal either. So hopefully that answers your question. Eric, if you've got a question.
Hi, Rhys and Alex and Noah. Thanks for your time and for answering somewhat of the same questions sometimes over and over. My girlfriend wanted to say she said when you had a pee break, she thought maybe you were sending some nudes or Some shampoo pics to poor man. Your shampoo photos. But
I'll send poor man my stuff late at night. It seems more appropriate.
Yes, please do. I want to see the
I don't know
shampoo.
what time it is there. It's yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to ask about
There you go.
it's probably not that big of a deal to most people, but Batman Series 5. I was wondering if you could add this to your list. The naming kind of bothers me. Bit of my OCD probably, but I noticed that the artist names were not included in that edition, and I'm not sure what how an NFT or how your naming system works, if it could be changed. But basically, Greg Capullo, who did the Batman Who Laughs, and Mike Magnolia, who did the meme Batman, Dad Bod. I think they deserve some recognition.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
There you go. I was just to bring you up to speed. Yeah, I completely agree with you, and it's definitely something we did with the earlier drops, with the artist name being highlighted. The reason it's not there now is because the licensor has requested it. They're creating their own sort of stance around what their artists can and can't do, what's going to be attached to this or that. And you may have seen some articles kicking around. Both DC and Marvel have kind of started to put in their own policies as to what their artists can and can't use their IP for. So yeah, anything you see like that, it's not us trying to not give people recognition. It's usually it's out of our control on that front.
I'm just letting y'all know I can't see shit out of
Okay,
glasses.
copy that. That makes sense. Thank you for fielding that question. And my last point would be hashtag ban fake fixies. I think Ray Fixies becoming a bit of a influencer in the community, and these guys are using his profile picture and stuff, and I hope it's violating some sort of terms of service or something, but I noticed he's in chat today right now, so maybe you could talk to him about that.
Yeah, I'll look into the Ray Fixie saga. He definitely is becoming quite the influencer, but I mean, it's
not much you can do about that.
You want to put out information and talk about these things, but you kind of paint a target on your back for that sort of activity as well. So anything we see like that is clearly scam accounts, which obviously are if they're replicating his name, we'll try and put a stop to. Same goes for everybody. Anything like that we see, it's the same as the fake Dans contacted me on Telegram and that kind of thing. There will always be scammers trying to figure these things out. So we do what we can. Yep.
Talk to me, Reese.
Copy
that. Slick Slack. Got a question?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
That's perfect. So basically, I have a couple of questions. The first one being like more of a statement, really. It's just that seeing that a lot of people just wake up to having their accounts disabled, and some people, like some friends, telling me that they really didn't do anything. Like, it gets me kind of scared, See what I mean? Like, I have a lot of money into the app, and I'm just not interested in waking up and having like 40, 50K just down the drain. And like, if I really didn't, let's say I broke a rule and like unintended, like, is that enough to like have 50K worth of collectibles just removed?
They're not just removed, for starters. If you've broken the terms and services or the terms and conditions, then yeah, I mean that's how your account gets disabled. So if you're using the app as you're supposed to and using it correctly, then you have nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the emulator things. Like, I've seen a couple of like different statements from a lot of like the developers and stuff, like saying, oh yeah, using emulators for their intended purposes is okay, and then I see others saying that it's not okay. So I'm kind of like, what's the correct answer? You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and look, that's in the early days. I think that's probably part of my fault, so I'll take blame for that. But yeah, the way that the system's being designed and redesigned now, especially after the last few weeks of people screaming bots and emulators, is that it picks up anyone using an emulator and can identify that and bans it. So Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty clear now. Anyone using emulators, bots, anything like that, it will be flagged and their account's disabled. Now, whether they're re-enabled will be on a case-by-case basis. I think people maybe forget or disregard that we can see everything that happens.
Yeah, that's the thing about the blockchain.
Yeah, we can see all transactions. We can see everything coming and going. So we know where that's been used. They will be re-enabled on a case-by-case basis. But anyone who feels they've been unjustifiably disabled or anything can open a support ticket and
exactly. Yeah. Well, that brings me to my second question, or in terms of the OpenSea, like bringing collectibles out of the app. As long as you guys, I feel like you guys are very good at it. Like as long as you guys are transparent about what's allowed and what's not allowed, like in terms of, for example, the emulators, I don't really find any issues with having like a closed community in terms of the collectibles, like on Vive only. As long as there's not a lot of fear of just getting randomly banned, which I really think you guys are very good at handling. Like, there's really a lot of potential with let's say the collectibles that you can't take out of the app. Like, there's a lot of potential to just grow within Weave itself, which I find even more bullish than OpenSea, to be honest.
Absolutely, I'm with you there. I really think we've got the best experience. We've got the most you can do with these collectibles. You can display them, drop them in augmented reality. Like, the only real reason for sending them elsewhere is maybe to sell them for ETH or something, which we're about to solve by letting you cash in and straight back to fiat. So, I mean, it's easier anyway, right? We created economy there. Before long, we add the ability to do it with OMI as well. So you create a bigger economy around the token. So, like, yeah, other than the very small group of people who will just want to store them in their own wallet, I think the vast majority of people see the value in keeping them in Vivi.
Like, I want to keep all my stuff on Vivi, and I just want to put emphasis on the fact that as long as I don't have to be scared of having my account disabled, and I think you guys are doing a great job of handling the let's go, it's FUD basically. But as long as I don't have to be scared about getting my account banned, I'm gonna keep everything on Vive, to be honest.
That's it. And as long as you're using the app as it's intended, there's no need to fear that.
Exactly.
That's all.
And my last question is about the decentralized aspect of the NFTs themselves. I don't know if you guys store your is the collectible asset stored on the chain, or is it in a centralized server with you guys?
Yeah, it's in some sort of custodial wallet. I don't know I'd have to get out to explain that somewhere, but that's how I've heard Dan explain it before. And
do you think he can come up and explain it to us in the next day or something? Because I'm really curious, to be honest.
Yeah, I will try to get Michael on here at some point. Maybe not in the next one, because they're doing the immutable thing now. Once we move to immutable, for lack of a better term, we can bring the walls down a bit. And you'll be able to kind of trace all that history and know where it's been and gone and all that kind of thing. So we're really only a month, 6 weeks away from being able to enable that anyway. But yeah, Michael is definitely someone I might try to get onto an AMA.
Yeah, because I'm quite curious, and I know a lot of other people are as well, about how you guys handle the storage of the asset itself, because it's quite obvious that you can't keep it on chain, cost-wise and technology-wise.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Perfect.
That was all my questions. Thank you, Rhys.
No worries at all. Thank you. Okay, guys, maybe we'll go for another 20 minutes if that suits everyone. It's been sort of 2 hours now. So Nightmare 9, if you've got a question, then IOST, and then Young Lion.
Can you hear me?
Yep, got you there.
Great. How's it going, Rhys? I just have a few quick questions. The first one was actually a clarification. I think around an hour ago you were talking about wearable technology and AR glasses. Did I hear you say that Vivi's planning to release the first commercial AR glasses, or did I misunderstand that?
You misunderstood that. I would love to say that we are. No, I said that I think Apple will come out with the first consumer-friendly sort of thing. For us, we're leveraging the hardware that other people are building to create our experiences. I don't think we're at a point yet where we could justify however much time and money has to go into developing AR wearables.
Sure. Next one is, are there any plans to be able to use the selfie camera on our phones soon to take pictures with the NFTs? Because right now it's kind of a little difficult to do that. You gotta maybe have someone else take the picture for you, kind of.
Yeah, that's again a bit of a limitation of the newer phones can do it, but anything probably from maybe an iPhone 10 or whatever, like in that era or before, I don't think the selfie camera can actually do AR photos. So yeah, it's definitely been part of the plan for a long time, because obviously that creates a new level of virality. But we'll need to build that in as the hardware develops.
Okay, cool. I know you guys have talked about some sort of I forgot what it was exactly, but some sort of web app for the computer. I was just wondering if we'll be able to potentially modify our vaults on the computer in the future, because I know one thing that's deterred me a little bit from messing so much in my vault is just the controls are just a little finicky and just kind of annoying to have to place over 100 collectibles and whatnot. I'd much rather do it on the computer with the keyboard and mouse.
Agreed. Yeah, that's a barrier for me too. And yeah, absolutely. That's
great.
To be honest, I think that once the web platform is live, and then we keep kind of building out the capabilities of that, I kind of foresee people moving dominantly to the web platform, and then using the phone app, more to show your friends on the spot and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm waiting for that so I can really start to build out my showroom.
Very cool. I just had one last quick question.
Yep.
About Comic-Con, I heard you mention earlier that you're planning on having releases or drops on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Do you think we'll get some sort of a schedule ahead of time, knowing what the collectibles are for each day? So will I be able to plan, okay, I can only afford, 1 or 2 drops or whatever. I really want the drop that's on Saturday. Or will it be, Friday, here's what's released Friday, Saturday, here's what's released Saturday, Sunday, here's what's released Sunday?
No, we'll release the usual drop articles and info.
Great.
Alex, do you want to add to that? Sweet.
Yeah, there will be a schedule. You'll see over the course of the week, we'll release more and more info with more IP and drop timing for the weekend. And then we'll reiterate the full schedule towards the end of the week. But yeah, as we go, you'll be able to kind of plan out what you're going to go for.
Great. Thank you so much. I got to run, you guys. Thanks again for the AMA. Looking forward to Comic-Con.
No problem. I'm just going to cover a couple of quick community questions too. So someone has asked, when drivable Ecto? No idea. That will come whenever the drivable capabilities are available on the app. I have seen a few questions about the Labbits as to why they're FE instead of FA, so first edition instead of first appearance. Now, Dan made the distinction last week that there is a distinction between the collectibles world and the art world, and artist drops tend to be first edition instead of first appearance. So I think that's the distinction there, and why the Labbits are all first edition. And people want to know about the verification verification sticker on the Twitter account. Alex or Noah, do we have an update on that? I think we've applied for it, right? Oh, we just lost you, Alex.
Yeah, no, sorry. Noah, do you want to talk about it? I think you were a little closer to this issue.
I'm sorry, could you ask the question one more time?
The blue check mark on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I believe we applied for it. We haven't heard back yet about getting it, but we are, still in talks with them and looking into it. I think we definitely deserve it, but we're getting verified on Twitter is kind of, it's not super simple. So, we're looking into all our options, but we will definitely, I think, have it in the future.
Anecdotally, I've heard it's more of an art than a science. It's not like you have to have a certain threshold, though I've heard it helps to have over, 100,000 followers, and helps if you know somebody. So we're working on it.
Yeah, it always helps if you know somebody, right? I know, one of the requirements I saw when I looked into it a while ago was you had to be noteworthy, I guess, but in the news. So sort of ever since the Marvel announcement and all of our new license announcements kind of come out and feed towards that too. So I think it's just a matter of time. Really just have to wait for it. But hopefully that answers that question for whoever asked it. Now, IOST, if you've got a question, then Young Lion. And if you haven't used
Hi.
yeah, go for it.
I have 2 questions. One is regarding the banned accounts. With those collectibles on those accounts, what happens to those? Are they lost forever, or will they go back into, like, I guess, the community? Or
No, they're not lost forever. I mean, there's still people have paid for those things. They're still attached to the account, depending on the outcome of that account. But I don't personally have any guidance as to what happens to them down the line yet. So yeah, until I have more, I don't really want to speak out of turn on that one.
okay, and the next one is with the gems being able to cash out. Should we expect like fees from Vivi, like being able to cash for like fiat or?
Good question. I think if there is a fee, it will probably be from the MTL. But leave that one with me. To be honest, I probably won't have the finer details until we're closer to rolling it out. Yeah, I'm going to say, just based on assumption and how these things work, there will probably be a small fee. But I'll get clarification on that when we're closer to.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Young Lion? You might have to enable push to talk there, or just test your microphone if it's not working.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. How you going?
It's Alan here. How are you?
Really well. Yep, got you there, mate.
I'm from Melbourne here. Anyway, just want to ask if you considered doing a pre-order.
A pre-order for a collectible?
Correct. As in, say you got to drop this Saturday, and you can put in a pre-order as soon as you say, we're going to release the drop, which is what are we releasing this weekend? We have no details yet, correct?
This weekend is the Ecto one, the Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, Ecto one, forgot. Now, because say I'm busy on Saturday, I can't be there to do a pre-drop. So why can't we do a pre-order to win and buy collectible, so we don't have to have the trouble of my phone's too slow, my internet's too slow, and all these excuses. Oh, my finger's too slow to press it. So,
because frankly, if you could pre-order them, then we would never make it to a drop day. That's part of the fun. Although it's frustrating if your fingers are too slow, or your phone's too slow.
What
What
I mean is pre-ordering on the same day, so everyone gets a fair go, right? You put your order there. Well, what I mean is you can pre-order prior to the drop, and then when you do the drop, everyone gets a randomly to win to buy. Right?
I
So
know.
no frustration. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know what you're kind of saying, but I think it kind of completely defeats the purpose of the drop. That's part of the thrill of the collectibles world, and what we've designed is to be there and try to get it at that time. So I think that's the way it'll stay for now.
Yeah. Would you consider it for the future?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't. It's not really part of the model or the design, so it doesn't really make sense for us to offer pre-orders on a collectible that drops.
I guess say 8 o'clock, but in the USA it's 1 o'clock a.m. in Australia.
Sucks.
I mean,
I know.
Is that just bad luck? that we miss out.
Yeah, it is it is for certain drops, right? So once we get to the point of multiple drops per week, and we've already experimented. We've had some at 8 a.m. and some at 6 p.m. PT, which ends up being 11 a.m. for us down under. A much more appropriate drop time. So when we get to a point of rolling out more content each week or at different times of the day, that's designed to suit people in different time zones. So it will develop become easier, but yeah, there will just be some things you got to get out of bed for if you want them.
Okay, or buy at the marketplace, I guess.
Yeah, we'll buy on the marketplace. Yeah.
All right, keep up the good work, and I'll try to get up at 1:00 Saturday. It'll be
Good luck.
Sunday, actually. Yeah. Thanks,
luck.
Reese.
No
Cheers,
worries,
mate.
mate.
Bye.
All right, Seabrook. Is that in Seabrook?
That was me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. Who else we got? OBL. Miss Bag Lady, is that you?
Hello, can you guys hear me okay?
We can indeed. Welcome.
Thank you guys. What's the crack? How's it going?
Yeah, really well. Really well.
Thank you so much for having me up. This is so cool. And just thanks again for doing this every week for the community. You guys are such legends. Alex and Noah as well. Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have two questions. I'll just sort of ask them one at a time, if that's okay.
Yep.
I got a wee message from Crypto Crayons on Twitter. And he said that he was a little bit scared to come up here and ask a question. So he said that he would ask me to ask it for him. So here it is.
Okay.
He said he's curious about the new showrooms and if the free to roam feature will still be available. So will you be able to place your collectibles in the sky or outside of the showroom once the new showroom comes into play?
Yeah, I'm not actually sure about that. I'm going to have to ask Trevor. Also, shout out Crypto Crayon. I don't know. Like, I have a feeling they might finally put the walls up, for lack of a better term. But I will find out about that. Yeah, leave it with me.
Okay, awesome. And the second question was that Vivi is leaning in more of a like contemporary art kind of style for Artist Alley, which I am super fan of. And it kind of has some controversial kind of tones, which again is just fab. But do you think that Vivi will maybe lean into more traditional styles at some point? And I'm not saying that these are like actual examples that you guys would maybe have, but like a Monet kind of style or a Picasso or like a Dali sort of, maybe like a 2D sort of situation, more like the Iron Man 2D artworks, maybe something like that, but more traditional style.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a really good question. I think at the moment, obviously, the focus, we're sort of leaning towards street artists and more contemporary stuff. When it comes to the more traditional things, I guess it really comes down to who owns that IP or who owns the rights over that. Can we get access to it? Do the traditional artists or fans of traditional art feel like something is taken away from that if we digitize it? Like maybe it stays in that sort of realm for a reason. Obviously, our goal is to kind of bring on as much content as we can from those premium sources. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure if that's the direction we'll go. I'll put it to Dan next time we're on one of these and see his opinion on it too. Alex, do you have any opinion on that? Is that something you'd like to see or think we'd head towards?
I mean, I have an opinion. I've not been involved in those discussions at all, but yeah, I would love to see us expand into all styles of art, and to be able to. Could you imagine if we were to offer, NFTs of the Mona Lisa, for instance, or
Like,
Starry
that
Night,
would
Van
be
Gogh?
freaking insane, dude. Insane.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. I mean, I would love that. I think it would just, raise the game, and I think for people appreciators of art in general, I think that would be an amazing area for us to expand into. But who knows? I know we're really coming at it as from a collectible standpoint first, like kind of as Rhys mentioned, pop art, street art, collectibles, and more of that kind of comic and art, street art realm. But yeah, I would love to see as we continue to expand the Viviverse. We're gonna have to be the to borrow the phrase from someone earlier who said we're going to be the Netflix of NFTs. You know, Netflix has something for everybody, so I would hope that we do too at some point.
Yeah, just on that, the famous Mr. Al Khan has actually replaced our Netflix of NFTs with, we're going to be the Walmart of NFTs, because we're going to offer such a diverse range of products. So
Amazon.
Yeah, who knows? I would love to see us move in all directions. I think that it's probably a bit of an easier sell to the more modern artists or street artists and that kind of thing at the moment, just until people become more comfortable with the digitization of their assets and how they can access them. So, you know, it's probably a bit of a progressive journey to get to the more traditional side.
Definitely. I definitely feel like the street artists and pop artists are much more adaptable and much more willing to sort of shift to new mediums and stuff like that. So I can definitely see that why that would be, you know, the market that you guys would want to be targeting.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give a wee shout out to Crypto Crayons. He blessed my timeline on Twitter today with some art, which just has made my entire life. So I just want to thank him so much for that. It really was amazing. So everyone go check him out. He's got some amazing things. So
Crypto Crowns.
and just thank you guys for this opportunity. It's really cool. And I'm going to step down now, but thank you guys.
No worries at all. I'll second that, guys. And really shout out to everybody in the Academy fam and VV fam. Like, this community is truly second to none. And the support that we see going back and forth between everybody, it blows me away. It's so humbling to be part of. So big shout out to everybody there. And
Amen, dude.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Thank you very much. Mark, welcome. It's good to see you, mate. We'll have a quick chat. And guys, we'll take a few more and then we may wrap it up.
Crypto Crowns is the man.
Probably
I'm just
gotta
saying.
get some stuff ready for Comic-Con alongside everybody else. But Mark, if you've got a question, and then B-Boy Steve, we'll throw to you as well.
From Belfast down to Dublin. I always love listening to Orange Bag Lady by way of Melbourne, where I am. I just jumped in because I'm working away, but just want to let everyone know that we are going to have the infamous Rhy Fixie on Clubhouse next week, the actual Clubhouse app. So where we had Rhys on initially and stuff. So that's looking at next for the US, it's 6:30 p.m. next Thursday. Or for Aussies, it's 8 a.m. next Friday. So we'll have the infamous Rhy Fixie. We'll interview him. We'll find out all about him and see what he's gonna, shill and pump the floor on next.
Yeah, shill's the right word. For anyone looking for a link to that too, you will find it in our Telegram announcement channel. Just scroll back through a bit. You'll see we mentioned the Frank Kozik chat a few weeks ago, but otherwise, Mark, is there anywhere easy people can find you guys and your Clubhouse room?
Yeah, we'll organise the event and then we'll give you the link again, Rhys, and maybe you can pump it out again. We'll put it on the Twitter. We'll pump it out everywhere, so it'll be pretty obvious.
Yep, no stress. More than happy to share that around. That's no worries at all. I look forward to the chat. Perfect.
Cool. We'll miss the rest of the AMA, so I won't ask any silly questions that have probably already been asked.
It's been incredible. How could you miss it? What do you mean?
12:30 on a Friday, mate. I got work to do, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's it. I'm avoiding mine. It's great. B-Boy Steve, if you've got a question, we'll throw to you, and then maybe we'll take two more and we'll wrap it up, guys.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
That's my name.
Hello.
Okay. I'll invite a couple more up.
Something going on there.
Sipping tea in your hood.
He was trying to talk. I heard it.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, cool. Well, first, I just want to say I'm a big fan of VV. I've been using the platform since early March. I have just became an millionaire recently. I love the vision. I have over 300 collectibles. So thank you guys for, adding this excitement and everything. But I do one thing I do have a question about is the do you guys think that taking people's collectibles away, because I heard a lot of people got their collectibles taken that may have been hacked or stolen in some ways, and then also people's accounts being banned and stuff for emulators. Do you think that banning people's accounts who may have used emulators for legitimate reasons. Like I know the one guy said that was just using the Windows app, and taking collectibles that were legitimately purchased is sort of contradictory to the idea of digital assets and NFTs, decentralization.
So two things there, and if my internet cuts out, guys, a huge hailstorm's just blown in, so I'll try and jump back in. There's two issues, right? So early, before we introduced two-factor authentication, a bunch of people's passwords got revealed on the dark web, not from us. They're available on Facebook or whatever. So the stance we took on that was that these were stolen goods, essentially, because people's accounts had been accessed and their collectibles stolen. So we returned those in the same way you would expect any physical good that was stolen from you to be returned if it was located and sold on.
My concern with that is just that you guys aren't law enforcement or a judge or a court.
Correct, but we are the owners and creators of the platform, and you are agreeing to our terms and services when using that platform. So as a company, we have that power and that control, and that is the stance we took on that, and it was available to us.
Okay, yeah, I agree. It is 100% within your right. I just wanted to know if that is the stance that you're ultimately taking. And then another question I have is, when the change to Immutable X comes, will that sort of allow more decentralization if you swap your collectibles to, say, Ethereum OpenSea? Are they then disconnected from your VV account? And so
yes,
safe at that point from you guys?
I would argue the opposite. They're safer with us because we control the system when they're in VV. If and when you can send your collectibles out of the app, yeah, they're yours, right? That you can do what you want with them. If you lose them out of the app, that's on you. Anything in the app, we will maintain the security of. So while things are in the app, I think they're probably better protected by us. Now that stance that we took was in that instance, right? We are not aiming to be the arbiters of people's problems. If you sell something off app or anything like that, which happens all the time, and that's on you too, right? We're not going to start policing all of that every second of the day. We just needed to rectify a situation that arose.
Was the Facebook leak or whatever?
Yeah, that one.
Database leak.
Yeah, but that was. I mean, really, it was because people weren't using strong enough passwords or their own passwords.
Right, and yeah, that's kind of what I knew. So that's why it was just kind of like, me, that was just kind of their fault. You're using a 5-year-old password from a Facebook leak. It's like,
yeah, correct. And
I understand why you guys would do that, but yeah, that's all I wanted to know, and I appreciate the answer.
All good, no problem at all. All right, maybe we'll go one or two more. Lab and the Crane Mountain. If you can hear me, I've invited you up to speak, but maybe you haven't accepted. Same as Jace. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's make this probably the last couple, guys, and then we might wrap it up. So, Lab, if you've got a question, go for it.
So one of the questions that I had was like roadmap for animating the NFTs that are already released and in the store.
Yeah, there is no roadmap for that because we aren't releasing information as to which ones will be animated, if any of the ones that are currently available will become animated. So it's more of a, now we're kind of getting to that tier of animated collectibles with the Slimer, with the Ghost Trap, that kind of thing. You will know if they are animated before they're released. If we do choose to go back and retroactively upgrade an existing collectible, it's not something we're going to tell you about because it just means people will go and buy them all up from the market.
And one more thing I wanted to bring up was the appraisal value, right, for all of the items in our account. If an item has already been sold, aren't we going to look at the current market value and sort of try to average it out for the collectible that you have instead of trying to reflect its original retail price?
Yeah, the appraisal value, all of that kind of system is being redesigned and rebuilt at the moment. So I don't think it actually works right now. But the idea is that you will soon get, it might average out the 10 previous sales of that collectible and give you that median price as to the current appraisal value. Or Dan mentioned last week, that might be split. Maybe if you have a collectible that's sub 100, well, maybe you're getting the average price of collectibles that are sub 100, not just all of the collectibles that have been sold, things like that. So those tools are being redesigned at the moment, and we'll hopefully roll them out soon.
Perfect. This is probably this is fairly small, but SMS two-factor authentication instead of having the email code, because with SMS we can probably leverage the automatic way to pass the code that you just got onto.
Yeah. I think the next 2FA iteration is to add something like Google Authenticator, the Authenticator app, things like that. The issue with SMS 2FA that I think a lot of people have realized in crypto of late is that it opens you up to being SIM swapped. If someone manages to SIM swap you, then they can get your two-factor authentication very easily. Whereas an authenticator app kind of adds a newer layer of security. So I think that's the direction we'll move into rather than an SMS. But anything's possible in the future.
Right. And this is probably the last question, right? And you don't have to answer it. And I think I heard Trevor say in one of the old interviews, he's like, Nightwing is something he's looking to get. So the 40 items that go, so even the employees don't get them?
Correct. So look, I think Dan and David would probably hold on to one as did you. But no, I ask for those collectibles every week, and every week I'm given the same answer, my friends. Yeah, no, we don't see any of those. I join the drops like everybody else.
I know I said the last question, but I just thought of this. And whose decision was it to release only 500 bubbles? Because it's the second set, and progressively you get.
When Bubbles was released, she was on the market for a month. Like there was nothing, there wasn't enough users there to justify.
But the set that had Blossom, and which were significantly more editions. It's super smart, but it was that intention.
Well, Blossom, they came out first, right? So maybe they released more, realized, they sat on, for sale for too long. We'll do less with Bubbles, which still sat for sale for a while, right? And in those early releases, we were really testing the system, right? Like what pricing works, what numbers worked, is this attractive as a value proposition? So they really chop and change. Like that, the very first drop we did for Batman Series 1, the Todd McFarlane Batman was common and cost more than the ultra rare. Was it Riso that dropped Series 1? And that was based on the artist that did it, which is Todd McFarlane. But we were really, the original intention, like the pricing would have been all over the place depending on who made it, where it came from, the brand, the rarity, all those things. But in the end, it was too complicated. We really had to simplify things. So those early numbers, love them or hate them, they were part of the early journey of the platform. So that's just how it is.
Absolutely. Thanks for answering all my questions. I got more out of this interview.
No worries at all.
In the last 6 months, I feel like I just answered. And thanks for getting to all of them.
No worries, mate. You are most welcome. Thanks for being here. The question.
Hello. I have 10 questions.
10 questions?
I'm joking. So it's 5:30 a.m. in Greece, and in Europe, like it's a killer time. So I just want to, like, if you can, some AMA, we can fix the time for Europe also. And if we can have a structure on the timeline of the AMA. For example, maybe we could give some time, half an hour or something, for the NFTs, half an hour for Vivi, and half an hour for Omi. So we have a basic structure, and after we can expand. To have a structure on the AMA, it would be very helpful.
Yep. I can definitely look to changing the time. I try to keep them relatively consistent, just so that everybody knows when to expect them. But yeah, we can definitely open the floor at different times or different days. That's fine. Yeah, we can do that. And
yes,
the structure.
and I think it's.
Yep.
Sorry.
The structure we can definitely do, but because people can tune in and out at different times of the AMA, they may be invited. I can't see when people put their hand up to speak. I don't know what they're waiting to speak about. So if I invite them up during the OMI section and they want to talk NFTs, well, I can't really just kick them out and tell them to wait.
No, yes. But if we can have like an announcement from OMI, Twitter or something, that we can set the time, then it will be easy for everyone to participate, even if it doesn't have the 3 hours or something, to just hop on for half an hour, check his subject, that he's focused more. And okay, that's that. Thank you very much for all the work, and have a great rest of the day, night, whatever.
No problem. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Cryptomaniac, while you're here, have you got anything else? Otherwise, we may say goodbye, friends.
Yeah, so just real quick, I know there's going to be multiple drops during Comic-Con. Are we saying like 2 a day, 3 a day? Anything you can give us?
Alex?
No comment.
Come on now, give us something.
We're not quite sure yet. I mean, there could be more than one each day, but it just kind of depends on the scheduling with the licensors, which we're shoring up now, and hopefully we'll have final confirmation by tomorrow, and we'll start to announce throughout the weekend and Monday.
4 drops,
So
2
5
days.
a day confirmed. Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, close. All right, friends. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Big shout out to everyone in the community for everything you guys do. Thank you for sharing this information, staying up, getting up early, all the good things. Next week's going to be huge, so stay tuned and follow our socials for all the good stuff. And we'll talk next week, I'm sure.
Oh, how about that, guys? That was a good AMA. I'm not gonna lie. It was a long AMA. I'm glad I had enough beer. I'm just saying. But there's a lot of questions answered there. Me and Turbo was very excited, ain't you, Turbo? Man, what are you going to sleep for? What the crap wrong with you? Hey, I appreciate everybody coming tonight for the live stream. And I'm super bullish, especially what Rhy said about the Viviverse and pretty much the Netflix of Vivi. I mean, it's so much stuff tonight. Like, I'm gonna go back through all this, and I'm gonna make videos on everything that I think is, that I think everybody should hear. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about it because every AMA I get more bullish on Omi. And I'm not gonna lie, my portfolio, I'm probably slurring a little bit, but whatever. 98% Omi. Yeah. And I know a lot of people say don't put all your eggs in one basket, but I mean, god dang, can't help it, man. I mean, when you got this much catalyst coming out, it's hard not to, But I know I'm just rambling. I done had a few beers tonight, chili lime and some Modelo. But I appreciate everybody coming tonight, and yeah, see you on the next one. Po Man Printing. Oh, look at there. I stalled out a little bit. Can't do it like a video.